will never let anyone spit on what we accomplished. I am obviously biased and very fond of you guys and Steven, but also I can't pretend like nothing is going on. You can just like
All right, I'm back.
disavow Steven and like make sure any of the DGGers that are saying you can work with them on this volunteering. You don't have to.
Guys.
Yeah.
Even though she's in the hospital for having like, I actually don't fucking know what she's in the hospital for.
Yeah.
I didn't bother to ask, but shit's gone horribly fucking awry.
Who's
when
in the
this is?
I'm back. I'm back.
Check the chat.
Wait, I'm back. Hold on. Yeah, okay, I'm back. Okay. I don't know what happened. Like, I needed to re-authenticate with my stream or something. I think DGG was coming after me. They got their knee on my neck. You know what? If you want to help, make sure you click that like button. Make sure you subscribe. And if you want to support me more, you can give me some memberships, maybe a super chat. Memberships give me a reoccurring support, and super chats give me a nice boost right up the ass.
I've decided, by the way, that if Destiny comes back on the 1st and tries to manifesto his way out of this, I'm going to donate 25 subs to Smeth.
All right. Let's get into we're gonna watch Queeman and Lav talking to CounterPoints and
okay. Really quick, did you see that tweet?
What tweet? What tweet?
Zonia, this tweet right here.
Zonia.
Zonia says the 2 people you don't want guarding your drink at the party because they just make excuses for the guy who roofied you.
Yeah, well, Broken Clock is right twice a day. Well, she's got a good tweet there. Okay, let's go.
Anyways, let's see Queeman and Lav destroy Connor.
Give me a little bit, okay? Oh, there's Lav. Hi, Lav.
Hi, Connor. How are you?
I'm actually good. How are you?
I'm so good. Hold on. For some reason my touch-up is like crazy. I look like a skinwalker. Okay, there we go. My touch-up was like on the 3rd thing. Hi.
Hi.
I watched a little bit of your conversation with Brianna Wu.
Sure.
I love how you guys really focus on anything but the fact that your friend and ally has committed a sexual crime. You had, especially Brianna, had a lot to say about me and Max's coverage of the situation. One, I've just tweeted maybe 5 tweets about it. Today is the first day that I've said anything about it, like on stream, in like my own personal way, giving my own personal story. I've definitely taken a step back saying my victimhood doesn't come close to Pixie or Cherries. When I did come forward 2 years ago, it was about sexual impropriety that I thought was inappropriate, that he was using his platform to sleep with a lot of people and then completely denigrating them on stream, which was an abuse of power. It wasn't just that he was sleeping with people, it was what he was doing and also sleeping with people, which I think is a perfectly accurate condemnation of Destiny, or at least it was before the recent allegations. Who's this?
This is Queeman.
Oh, Queeman, my ally, my friend and ally.
Yeah, how things change.
Yeah, he was one of the people going after her too.
And yeah, Max is doing commentary on this just as everyone else on the internet. We're not hitching our boats and in the court, championing this.
In the court
of public opinion.
Yeah, so we are it's only because of these fucking retards like Connor and Brianna Wu. We have to fucking start because if nobody says anything but these fucking people that are just making excuses, then the whole narrative gets fucking demented and turned into, oh, this is okay. Oh, he had a bad family and his dogs or whatever. That poor Destiny.
It's really fucked up that they are essentially going like, well, it's really, they started this whole stream off going, it's really fucked up that Mr. Girl did this whole victory lap of, I was right, what, blah, 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 blah. And it's, I'm sorry, but if you're going to sit here and make this whole giant, essentially, sweep fest of basically making A&E's making the monster episode for them, you're essentially once you open it up to the court of public opinion, Max has every right to be the court of public opinion, just as we have every right to be the court of public opinion, just as every right as like my fucking condominium neighbor has to be
You
the court of
just
public
don't
opinion.
like that he was right because it makes you feel stupid because you are fucking stupid.
Yes,
Like,
because Max
it's like
noticed that
fell for it
Destiny
again
was a
award,
man and not a
basically.
god.
Yeah. All right.
I'm so sorry you're a fucking retard, Connor. Brianna Wu. I'm so sorry. Get the fuck over it. Just fucking
I think
go.
it's worse than being retarded. It's genuinely just like malicious. I think they're genuinely soulless fucking cretins. Like, I don't know.
think it's
I
malicious.
expect more from like Connor.
I think they're retarded. I don't think they're malicious.
Do you think they feel bad because they looked up to Destiny? Do you think they feel worse because they looked up to Destiny as a god and couldn't feel like they couldn't reach out to them? Or do you think that they feel worse that they now have to sweep up for somebody who's a fucking e-rapist?
Yeah.
I think they're sweeping up for their own incompetence and retardation, and they're like, it's like they've been shitting on the floor for many years, and then they're like, oh, people started like, and then and the adult enters the room like, oh, I gotta cover up all the shit.
Yeah, like somebody comes in and they're like, something stinks in here. Like,
yeah, and
what happened in here? You guys are.
How dare you like act like you told me so that I should use the bathroom? How dare you? How dare you, sir? How dare you? That hurts my feelings. I feel like a fucking retard. Yeah, because you're covered in fucking shit.
Obviously, this is something like JSTLK is speaking directly to the victims. He's having the information. I've only spoken to Pixie through maybe one DM saying, like, I support you. I'm sorry for, getting caught in the machine, bullying you on stream, that sort of thing. I've only shown Cherry support publicly, like on her posts. I've not tried to get any more information. I'm not trying to be the newscaster for this or anything. I think I'm talking about it because I think anyone should be talking about this. Anyone who has been victimized by Destiny in any way, I think should be talking right now because there's strength in numbers. And I think he's a piece of shit who should never come back to the internet.
Yes.
And that's basically my involvement. For Brianna Wu to act like I'm making this about me, very silly. I'm only responding to this. I'm making this about me now because Brianna Wu has made it about me in accusing me of this.
Like, and saying that you're making, like, saying like Lav is making this about her, they're actually trying to make it about her, like, so they can divert focus. It's pretty clear.
And it is kind of about her. And it is kind of about her. And it is kind of about Max.
Like, to some degree. Yeah.
By the way, to all of the Destiny cocksuckers that were previously in Smeth's chat who were saying that we were viewing Destiny as a god, or saying that we were somehow seeing Destiny as beyond reproach, or oh, there were a few people that were in your chat earlier.
Yeah, I don't know, just whatever.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying, just as a reminder to those people, I want to clarify. Brianna Wu compared Lav to the concept of the Atlantic slave trade.
Oh yeah, wow. All right, let's go.
But otherwise, I've tried really hard, I think, to just sort of commentate the same way you have, the same way Queeman has, the same way that I mean, not even the way that Queeman has, because Queeman's like trying to get facts and like trying to report on it in a journalistic like way.
Yeah, that's never underestimate Queeman.
That's over the top. I wouldn't say journalistic, but sure.
Well, but definitely more like you're trying to get the facts, whereas I'm just kind of watching it unfold and reacting to it.
Like an autistic cruise missile.
Sure. But yeah, it's crazy to me that Brianna Wu now has condemned me more than I think any other person online. I've never seen her condemn anyone the way that she's condemned me.
Okay. I think you and I have had friendly banter in the past. I will continue to try to do friendly banter.
Just before we have any conversation of substance, we need to do a quick shock session. Let me suck your fucking clit, Lab, before just shut the fuck up and say what you want to fucking say, you coward. You've been talking to Brianna Wu way too much.
But I am just going to press you a little bit, just because I think that there are things
Press me, Connor.
Presser.
Okay. So
I'm gonna be real. The civility feels slimy. I don't like it anymore.
Yeah, let's go. I know.
I'm going to be completely honest. The fact that Connor has yet to respond to me is becoming a bit annoying.
and I am being a douche about it, but
doucher, go ahead.
This is the cudgel.
Presser, doucher.
Repeatedly beaten. Is that
mid-Jewish pussy
that Hasan Piker had an illicit but consensual affair with a friend of yours?
Oh my god, you can't be serious.
You cannot be serious. He's bringing this shit up. What a fucking slimy little fucking cretin. Oh my god. Oh.
Hey, like, you know,
anything to stop talking. Anything.
He's committing sex crimes. But remember the time.
Anything to stop talking about Destiny.
Anything. Don't fall for this, Lab. Don't fall for it, please. Queeman also input and say, no, Connor. We're gonna talk about what happened.
Yeah, just be like, we're here to talk about Destiny.
Please don't talk about it.
Okay. Again, I don't know what this has to do with the fact that Destiny has been accused of a sexual crime. So again, we can talk about me forever, and we always do. The problem is that this is always running defense for things that I have said about Steven that have turned out to consistently be true.
Mid-Jewish pussy rising!
By Moses Jones, baby!
Completely true. I was sitting on the Lauren Southern information for 2 years, never came forward about it. I knew that Pixie and him had a sexual relationship.
Like, let's be real. If the true narrative is that Mr. Lav would have actually been spiteful enough, like they're going overboard, right? Why would that not have come out sooner? Why? There's no reason. Like, truly think about that. Like,
dude, here's the thing. I was on fucking Lauren Southern's original editing team. I was on her Southern Strategy Trans panel. I knew about the Destiny affair. I didn't come forward.
Who cares about coming forward? It's not like it's just an affair.
The
point about the affair is that Destiny is constantly like, so actually, so this is a point, like, so like when that was all supposed to be private, when Destiny was like silencing people who were like supposedly talking about it while simultaneously telling literally everybody in private, he would I remember for like a decent chunk of time, I remember on Twitter he unfollowed everybody except Lauren Southern. And so he's like putting these things out in the open. He's telling everybody. He has this like obsession or fetish for fucking leaking shit or like making his private life like public, like videos of himself like sucking dick, and that includes anybody that gets in any sexual contact with him.
A lot about the sexual impropriety have not come forward about it because of fear or because of being called a liar, because I've learned to not say things without substantiating them, right? I will be the first one to say I should never have said in a Discord 3 years ago that I knew Hasan Piker had sex with my underage friend.
And it's like, I don't know how many times she has to repeat that where it's like, okay, I'm taking accountability, okay? Like, I fucked up. Like, I don't know what the fuck you want. Like, what else can you
also, what does this have to do with Destiny? Sure. Let's redirect.
And I have every single time this is brought up said, I shouldn't have done this. I did not lie. There is a difference between a lie and an unsubstantiated story. I have said I'm not going to substantiate. The truth will come out when it comes out. It's not my problem. It's not my responsibility to do.
Lav, come on, redirect.
Why did you? I know, I understand. I get it, because you want to defend yourself. But fuck, man. Now he's just...
Don't let him dig in, Lav.
To make some
don't let him Zonia you. Don't let him Zonia you.
Come on, Lav.
Where I just say, hey, this Pixie thing is beyond fucked up, and I wish Pixie the best in her legal endeavors. I'll say it.
This Pixie situation fucked up is also running defense. The fact that you have yet to name Destiny as a sexual.
Come on,
I don't think I haven't said.
Nail him.
Steven is
culpable. He's doing his Zonia to you. He's trying to do what Zonia is doing to Emery. When Zonia and Emery were talking about Tom, he's trying to do that right now. Hit him back and say no.
Oh, wait, I don't remember this, but I'll ask you about the context later. I don't know. Yeah, I vaguely
remember. Even the big Tom panel with Rezi.
Oh yeah,
I don't remember. I don't know. I don't
You're
care.
talking about it right now.
No.
Your friend
But-
has been accused of recording a sexual encounter with someone without their consent and then sending it to someone else. And then recording something with a naive 19-year-old girl and sending that without her consent. These are sexual crimes. This makes someone a piece of shit. And you even now are saying, I saw you talk about Mr. Girl and the fact that he's doing like a Told You So podcast, and you were like, this is fucking insane. I've seen
It
you
is
react
fucking
more
insane.
harshly.
Hold
I've seen
on.
you react more harshly to that
Ugh.
than the accusations against Stephen. It's insane.
I disagree.
Connor.
I disagree. I don't think you watched. So
You talked about how Steven's
The-
like had fucking a child trauma and shit. Oh, it's so sad for Steven. You cannot fucking.
And that's just what we saw. Like, it probably was worse. Like,
Yeah.
as we went
There's-
along.
Mm-hmm.
so what I can come up with my own phrasing, but I don't want it to be picked apart. So do you have a phrase that I can say that would make you think that I actually do think Steven is an asshole and a piece of shit for what he did, and he does deserve the consequences that are coming his way?
Say
Sure.
Destiny should be on the sex offender registry.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying that.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
You don't think
You don't
future-
think
Because the
someone-
sex
you don't
offender
think someone
registry is
who-
fucking pedophiles.
You don't think future partners have a right to know that this guy might be recording them without their knowledge when they have sex with them?
If you find me the Florida state statute that says that leaking sex crimes, or excuse me, leaking sex tapes gets you on the sex crimes registry,
That's not what he asked.
then I'll say
That's not what he
That's
asked.
making
Asking
it
a
a
legal-
legal
this is
to
a
law.
legal question.
Oh my god! If you can substantiate this, like, bro, come on, man.
Yeah, this
You're
is a
making
legal
you're making
question.
so you realize that we create laws based on like moral principle, right?
yeah,
so it doesn't,
sure.
it doesn't matter that the law does not yet or will ever
hold on.
exist.
So if we're gonna be retarded, okay. So I was trying to start something, but if you guys just want to spurg out in a retard session, we can do that too.
I
And I'm
just-
happy
Oh,
to do that.
Jesus
Like
Christ.
you said, what
Connor?
phrase
Yeah, he's already so defensive. Oh my god.
can you say? That
Okay, well,
convince-
so I'll tell you that I'm not going to say that phrase. And the reason why I'm not saying that phrase isn't because I'm sweeping, quote unquote.
Yes,
The reason
it
why I'm not
is.
going to say that phrase
Yes,
is because the
he's
sex
absolutely sweeping.
offender.
I think he's trying to be like, yeah, well, sex offenders is like, you think of pedophiles when you think it, like, no, not all the time. Actually, somebody who can be a sex offender is somebody who's just like
Answer the
doing
question. You
public
don't
exposure,
creepy
think
stuff. Yeah.
you don't think his future partner should know that he might be fucking recording them, and then he
Sure,
answers
also
by
that, yeah,
he answers by saying, "Oh well, I don't know the law that says that leaking." We weren't even talking about the leaking. We're talking about the recording at this point. Anyway, just whatever.
It's fucking ridiculous, dude. I fucking
Yeah.
oh my god.
Registry basically means that you can't live certain places, you can't rent a whole bunch of places, it's very difficult to get jobs, and pretty much everybody in the world assumes that you're a pedophile.
Sounds based. I love it. Let's
Yeah.
go.
So you have to live in a trailer park along with a
Okay,
bunch of other
so
pedophiles. Hold on,
location-
I'm not
so
done yet,
first-
Queeman. I'm not done yet. You asked me a
Privilege
question, I'm
concerns
answering
are
it.
legitimate.
I'm
Privilege
not.
concerns
I'm
are
gonna
legitimate.
continue the
He's
concept.
against
And
the
so no,
sex
I
offender
don't think that
registry.
Steven belongs in a trailer park with pedophiles, broke and destitute. No, I don't think that's
Yes,
I don't think that's a.
that's based.
I unironically think that this guy should be locked up for a good long while, as far as I'm aware,
I don't know about that.
from like the potential harms. Yeah.
I don't. Whatever.
A parallel
How would
consequence
he
to
be
his
broke and
actions.
destitute? How's he suddenly going to lose all of his money?
That's where you want to go.
Well, no, I mean, you're asking how.
So-
is he-
Oh, I
you
mean,
want-
like, preferably rehabilitation. Like,
Oh my
I'm
God,
just talking
Jesus
about in the
Christ.
current
Wait.
like legal framework we have.
Wait,
but,
guys, guess what?
Yeah.
So you can be added to the Florida sex offender registry, not just for child pornography, but for the following: non-consensual pornography, revenge porn, or cyber exploitation.
That's perfect. That's perfect for Destiny. That is perfect. He will belong. When he goes to that trailer park, they're all going to be the same thing as him.
Welcome,
Wait.
LMF.
Thank you.
But
Let's go. Hey, LMS,
who
let's go.
are you?
it's
He's
Right.
it's a friend. Don't worry.
he's streaming for the last couple streams. It's pretty cool.
Want me
So
to
he's been
describe.
Oh, sorry.
In a
how
trailer park.
pedophiles who live it. Okay, so hold on, Queenman. So instead of
How is he
focusing,
gonna
because
end
I
up in a
swear to
trailer
God, no,
park?
you
By
want to
the
make it
way, if
retarded,
he
I'll make it
ends up in a
retarded.
If he's a full-time streamer, if he's living in a trailer park with a bunch of pedophiles, how's that going to affect his ability to connect to the internet and talk about politics?
I don't think look. There's problems with the sex offender registry, and they're like I think yes, and I don't wish the torture of the United States justice system and the way that we do it on really most people of committing most crimes. But that doesn't mean that they still didn't commit the crime and that we still deserve restitution and like to do something about it and to hold them accountable. It just means that the United States justice system and the criminal
Yeah, it's a
system
deeply
sucks.
it's a deeply flawed system. His partners
Yes.
do deserve to be notified.
Yes.
The problem is that Connor is applying a system that is applicable to only one state, which is the trailer park is a thing that exists in Missouri because there's a fucking Vice documentary on it, which means that the fucking cop doesn't even know the fucking way that the shit exists in his state, and he's going based off fucking Vice documentary. So Connor's a fucking retard and is being hyperbolic.
I'm
So
placing Connor under content arrest.
Yeah, Connor's literally just being he's trying to get a rise out of fucking everybody. So automatically,
people should be blacklisted for
he's-
like
he's-
arguing
he's-
over whether rape should be legal or not. That seems to be where we're at.
yeah, he's literally spurging out right now. But the thing is that even ignoring that, assuming that everything's 100% hunky dory, let's assume that everybody on the sex offender registry, it's 1,000%, 100% correct. Let's assume that it's magically perfectly 1,000% correct, and everybody who's on that list is 1,000% correct, and everybody who has to live in a trailer park away from civilization has to do that. How does that affect Destiny specifically from doing Destiny specific way?
If you want to do
Destiny's
if you want to do advocacy to clean up the way that we handle these crimes in the justice system and the sex offender registry, that's well and good, and I fully support you. But that isn't what we're talking about, you fucking asshole.
Well, yeah, I mean, I support Connor if he now suddenly wants to reform the way that we handle.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would love that too.
If
And when
if
I
Connor,
specified locking up, I
Connor
mean
who
like in our
wanted-
current system, that should be like they'll probably, you know.
yeah.
If
I don't
Connor,
think it's so like you lock Destiny up in jail and then he gets raped by a bunch of people. I absolutely don't want that.
I don't think that fixes him. I'm just saying.
I
Like,
think
that's
that for sure his future partners should be notified and know about this.
Here's the thing. I proudly support the guy who previously said that food shops should be thrown on an island away from all civilization just because she likes specific cartoons. Now suddenly thinks that Destiny should not have his future partners notified that he leaks his sexual encounters that he secretly records to.
Interesting how that works, you know.
Yeah,
I
if he now completely supports a complete reform of the sex offender registry program, I am completely with Connor on this. I completely agree with this. This is 100% great. I love this new arc that Connor's on. The problem is that this is not what Connor wants.
It's not any arc. It's an arc of piss into a toilet
Connor
filled with
is-
shit.
Connor is just trying to bait them into bullshit. And the problem is,
he's not baiting. He's just destroying the ability to have the conversation.
and Connor's also acting like Destiny has a normal 9-to-5 job, when the issue is
He
that
doesn't,
even,
no.
which brings me back to my original question. How does even living in a trailer on a deserted island with fucking internet, how does that affect Destiny's ability to do what Destiny's doing now? Sitting on the internet playing video games.
Just a little quick aside. Trailers are based, and people who hate trailers are
Yeah.
fucking retards. Anyway, continue.
Yeah.
One thing,
So, okay.
I don't think Destiny should be raped in prison, but if he is, he doesn't deserve $1 million for it. But we could pay for his therapy.
Oh my god.
What?
That's what Destiny offered. He was like, well, you know, I could probably pay for your
Yeah, you
therapy.
know?
Like they're under specific conditions. It's like, okay.
So, okay, let's say that
you made it
Steven still has
retarded. You
all
just
of
made
my-
it retarded by coming up with some crazy
No,
story. about Destiny
you're
being in a trailer park.
no, Queeman, if you want to make it gay and retarded, we can do this. Okay. So
You just made it
your
gay and
your
retarded.
main
That
objection,
was
your
great
main
to spoil that
objection to
trailer.
what I just said, which is no Queen, and I'm not going to humor you by saying the sentence, is that Steven will still have money, so he'll be fine. So hold on, I'm gonna flip this on you.
No, I'm pointing
You
out the
want
fact that
him?
you
You
brought up two
think
criteria
it's
that make no
appropriate
sense
for
in
him
the
to
sense.
live in a trailer park with pedophiles? You think that's
Okay.
an accurate consequence for
I
what
don't.
he's
I
done?
don't think this
I
is
don't see
a
that as the
productive
consequence. That's
conversation.
not what I
Do
was
you
saying.
It's
think?
not, but Queenman
you-
wants to fucking shitpost, so
Okay,
we'll
Connor,
shitpost.
do
Let's
you
go.
do you think that Destiny is a sexual predator?
No.
Oh
And why
my
is that?
god!
What constitutes in your eyes?
Like
as
I can't. I don't know how to be more clear. Besides the fact that, like, as far as we know, he hasn't raped anyone. But in terms of, it's as sexual predator as sexual predator gets. Without,
He's Dennis Miller.
That long. Yeah,
It's not.
yeah.
Dennis Miller doesn't rape people, but he records them without their consent. He leaks their nudes without their consent. He like
He
manipulates
women.
and like puts them in situations they don't fully understand, and tries to put himself in positions where he has extreme power over them. And he also is incredibly sadistic and gets off on putting himself and others at risk. Yeah.
I'm being slightly sorry, Smith. I have the same problem with Erudite of like it's slightly hyperbolic, slightly to say Ghislaine Maxwell, but like what's the line? Like they're 2 years older and there's no massages involved. Like at what point do they accept that it is a crime? This is why I say we're at the point where this is a consent issue. And we're at the point where we're debating whether rape should be legal. That's where it feels like we're at with this consent issue.
It's not about if rape should be legal, because if it was somebody else, they wouldn't be having this conversation like that. It's Destiny's cult. Like we are like actually basically arguing if rape should be legal, but it's not because people are wondering if rape should be legal. It's because the cult is seeped into their brain and they're unable to like look at reality.
The problem is that, okay, so for example, if all of this was food shops, this entire if this
Can we,
entire
for
example
context, food shops like publicly and like almost like proudly like admitted that they look at lolly porn, and then this guy was like, you should be on a fucking island, you know what I mean? Like you should be away from society. Yeah.
But also,
I'm just saying, for example,
I'm just saying, for example, if for some reason, if food shops did all of the things that Destiny did, do you think that Connor would be going this hard for this amount of advocacy?
No.
Or do you think that Connor would be saying, fucking electric chair right now?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah,
Bobby Johnson says LMF is so based. Ray says this case is going to be an SVU episode this year. At this point, can't wait to see who they cast to be Connor. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, thank
you. They're gonna cast fucking Bert Chrysler, the fucking machine guy.
Brendan Fraser.
I think a predator would be somebody who's like taking advantage of people who have no capacity or agency.
Okay, so when you record someone without their consent and distribute that, what are you doing?
I would say you're violating the consent of that person.
And what does that mean? It means that they are not able to have, you're taking their agency away from them, correct?
No.
Okay.
So is Steven a sexual predator?
No.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
I agree with him. The way that Lev presented that question, like he's not a sexual predator because he violated someone's consent. It's the pattern of 19-year-old girls and no inhibition and the blackmailing and everything else. So she's kind of fucked the question up, but he shouldn't be.
It's literally the Patrick Wallet meme.
But it's just that I don't think she's. I don't. It's just really complicated, and yeah, it's too complicated. It's hard.
Yeah,
it's
too
very
complicated
for
him to dismiss that easily.
Exactly. Yeah, it's easy to fuck the question up because to really accurately describe it is like. It's like you have to explain like the whole Dennis system. Like if you were to watch Dennis Miller from It's Always Sunny and you wanted to explain how he's a sexual predator to somebody, you can't just like put a pin on it and just say he's a sexual predator because he is a rapist or whatever, because he's not. You would have to do a whole diatribe, you know?
Yeah, it's like
it's
a summary. It's a summary of 3
It
years
literally
of
was the
tweeting.
Patrick Wallet meme. It's not my wallet, but like I I found it. It dropped out of your pocket. It's like
It's like
it's
saying
the whole
like
render.
explain like 3 years of this being normalized and covered up and obfuscated in a tweet. That's kind of what you're saying, right?
Yeah. Like with Dennis Miller, you would have to explain like the collection of recordings and like how he's got like the Dennis system and how he like does like these lords of power. Like you have to explain all the nuances because like any one of them you can like be held to like scrutiny, and then you can be like, well, I don't know, like I don't know. I guess the collection of unconsensual pornography kind of.
It's the implication, guys.
Yeah, it says it's not a rape. It's not the rape. It's the implication, and you know.
Yeah,
Dude,
I'm
she
not-
knows it's the
look-
Patrick Wallet meme too. That exchange was
I don't
so
know what the
crazy.
fuck you're
so,
talking
guys,
about.
if you want,
Yeah,
Do
I
you
don't
remember the
know.
SpongeBob joke where it's like,
I don't know.
hey, like you dropped your wallet. It's like, and then they go through the process of like making sure Patrick knows.
I
hey,
don't care.
This is
about
your
the
ID. This
SpongeBob
is
meme.
everything. It came out. And
I
then
don't care
Patrick's
about
like,
the
well, it makes sense
SpongeBob
to me.
meme. I don't care about the SpongeBob meme. I'm sorry.
Oh my god, get your SpongeBob game up, and you'll understand why that was so funny. Shut up.
Is it a,
Oh my
is it
God,
a
I hate
Ridge
you.
wallet?
I hate you right now.
Is
Yeah.
it a SpongeBob themed Ridge wallet?
if you
I
want to,
hate you right now. I despise you right now. Oh my
Okay, no,
god.
dude, there is
Hey,
somebody
hey,
watching
This
that
is your
gets.
biggest sin. Out
There's
of all the
there's
sins,
there's somebody watching that gets it. Okay.
every almost. Never mind. Fuck you.
All of Emery's
Oh,
fans.
this is
get
like-
it.
orbiter or former orbiter and get them to call him a pedophile because you feel like
said
you're
that?
winning.
Is that the
not-
only thing? Is that the only? So Steven is not a sexual predator until he fucks
You know what?
someone who's
I've
under
already
18.
answered 3 or 4 questions, so
Yeah.
I'm just going to ask the question again
crazy.
because,
Okay.
again, this is the cudgel with which you're beaten over the head with which you won't answer.
Okay.
Did Paris Jackson
About
sleep with
Hasan?
Hasan Piker when she was 17?
Oh my god.
This can't be real.
This guy,
Oh
this
my
guy's
God.
unbelievable. You know, send him to the fucking gulag, bro. Go away. I'm sorry, dude. What the fuck?
And it was Lav told Destiny this concern she had about Hasan in private, and it's just made the most useful weapon. He's a blackmailer. He uses the information's used as a weapon. Anything you tell him, he'll tell you anything, and there's no consequences that he slept with Pixie, even though it's private information. But then Lav gets absolutely hammered for sharing her concern about. He took that and weaponized it straight away, and then blamed it all on Lav. He could hurt 2 people with the same piece of information. Or the same concern that was told to him in private.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy, dude. I can't believe this guy.
Chat, is this real? Chat,
It's
is this
real. I'm asking you a very straightforward question that has a factual answer, yes or no. I typically answer your questions relatively
No, you don't. What world do you live in? Hoth?
Ugh!
quickly. You can answer my question relatively quickly.
It is my belief, and I have alleged that Hasan Piker slept with my friend before she was 18 years old. Yes, I have repeatedly said this.
Yeah, she sticks to it as well. It's
I've
fucking
repeatedly said
crazy.
this. I will not go back on it because I know it to be true. Hasan is not taking me to court. I await him taking me to court. I have continuously publicly said this. I don't know what else to do. Yes.
Yeah.
What the fuck does this have to do with
It
Steven
doesn't. I just wanted you to
distributing
answer a
pornography?
straightforward question.
Oh my.
Jesus
Wow.
Christ.
Okay,
What
well, you
does
got
this
your
have
answer.
to do?
Oh.
Can we
Oh
go
my
into the
God.
next
doesn't.
question?
It's like
Okay,
it's insane actually. It's insane.
No, it's
I
not.
can't
It's
believe
actually
real.
it's very sane. This is the one thing that people have been trying to get you to answer for a very long time. So I'm
Good job. Good job.
This what he
You-
said there
you
is
did it.
this is the
Yeah.
thing that we've been using against you for a very long time. This is the thing we've destroyed everything we possibly could over for a very long time. Yeah.
Yeah, we got.
Now we know.
I managed to get you to stop saying the thing I didn't want to talk about, and we don't have to have that conversation now. We can talk about this other thing, and I can try to embarrass you or discredit you.
Notice how they villainized, like the entire sphere, like villainizes Hasan in like the worst ways possible. There's definitely criticisms you can fucking make of his behavior and shit like that. But one thing Hasan doesn't do is that he was looking over what Lav was saying, and what Hasan didn't do is continuously go after this person for this
Yeah.
quote unquote false allegation. He addressed it once and he fucking shut the fuck up. He never mentioned her again.
Yeah, doesn't he
I
doesn't get?
can't.
He's over it. Look, it's,
Yeah.
yeah, he doesn't. He's whatever. It's like, and
But they get to relitigate it all too. Like they're always hoping that it'll stick. So they really want this thing to come out about Hasan, but they can't face their own sex crimes. So it's just more hypocrisy to weaponizing the things that you covering up yourself. That's just projection again.
Also, like, if it's true or whatever, and like you actually have an issue with the conduct that Hasan had, wouldn't you be praising Lab for like saying anything about it in the first? These fucking losers, dude. I fucking hate these people.
I've
And you can
answered
do what
this
Erudite
every
Erudite's
single
husband
time
did.
it's been brought up. I've
So
answered
every
it the
single
same
time that
way.
somebody has asked you, did Hasan Piker have sex with Paris Jackson when she was 17? You've said yes.
Yes, every single time. Every single time.
Okay,
yes.
first,
Yep.
I don't think that's
She
actually
has.
true.
You
It makes
didn't say
sense.
that
So we're still
earlier
not-
tonight.
We're
but
still
okay.
not done. We're
Comment
still
on-
not
on-
done.
No, I said I'm not
I have to deduct. Come on, Queenman. Don't engage with this. I know you want to get into specifics of like technically yes, like she
Yeah,
has.
technically at the
dude, like
technically at
no,
the
get on
beginning.
track. Get on track, please.
At the beginning, when someone took this private information and concern and just blew it up and blamed you
I
for
feel
it,
like-
did you hesitate a little bit? Yeah, probably.
I feel like Connor's probably trying to bait Queeman in this into going after
That's a
Lab.
distraction.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah. He won't do though. He's changed his mind on her.
substantiating. I said it's not. I said I'm not substantiating.
But
yes.
it's true.
Yeah, I will go on record to say yes. I believe that this is true. Yes.
Okay. That's fine.
And as well,
Alright, you answered
the
my
reason
question. We
this
can
is
move to
being
whatever
used
the fuck else you
against
want.
her.
Okay, Connor.
Okay,
so
great.
if-
This has happened before. Like this is, are you saying like, oh, you've not always said it this way? We know that she lied to Pixie and about Pixie to protect her when Pixie came to her saying like, how did you know that I slept with Steven? And she publicly says that she was wrong, even though she knows it to be true. And then later, like she wants to protect her friend with this, but then later gets that used against her as if she's evil. Like the double standards are fucking incredible.
Yeah, I love it.
If you completely remove someone's agency,
I'm
by
still
taking
listening.
away
I'll be
even
right
the
back. I'm gonna
possibility
piss.
of them consenting to an act because you do it to them unknowingly, how are you not a predator? You have removed their agency and taken advantage of it. How does that not qualify as predation?
Okay, we're gonna go autistic, so we'll just Google sexual predator definition real quick. And by the way, you could have Googled the statute by now, but I guess I'll do it.
The statute for what? There is a statute that's called sexual predator. It's a colloquial
Yes,
term.
there is for people who are in order to get on the sexual offender registry, you obviously have to violate
Yeah, I
certain
wasn't
laws.
asking a question about the law. I was asking morally, do you think this guy should be on
Oh,
the sexual
shut up,
registry?
you fucking homo. Yes, you were.
Connor, do you
No,
think
no,
that
I
there are
wasn't.
laws that don't exist that should exist?
Connor, unlike you, I don't do legal analysis on Twitter. Okay, buddy. So I'm not asking about
Okay,
the law. I'm asking about morals.
Do you think?
not
Wait, hold on.
ask me
Connor,
in
do you
the
think it should be
beginning of this
illegal?
Yeah, to be quite distinct, it's like half and half. I think Queenman's saying both law and morally. He's like, yeah, this is disgusting. You should be like considered a sex offender, a predator.
It's
But I
more-
think
it's more-
Queenman's
But-
main focus and Lab's main focus is more morality, like not just legally, just morality wise. Yeah, you're a fucking predator.
It's more of a moral term. Like you can get on that
Yeah.
list without
Here's
being a
here's
predator.
here's the
think.
here's the thing. There's a legal statute. I sent it to Connor. There's a fucking legal statute. I fucking read it off to you guys earlier in the chat. But to both Lav and to Queeman, this is a moral issue. They stated that earlier in the call. It's a moral issue.
Yeah.
It does not matter to them that it is a legal issue because
It's
Pixie's
already
case,
been admitted.
Pixie's case isn't a criminal case. It's a civil case, which is suing for distress. It's not
Mhm.
suing for, a criminal action. It's
But it
suing
does-
for emotional distress and reputational harm.
Mr. Girl
So
makes a
in this
public
case, it doesn't
statement here
matter.
saying, I think Lav and Queenman should be put on the sex offender registry for what they're doing to Connor right now.
That is good.
So based.
He's
That's
very
trolling
good.
him. You can tell Lav's just having fun with him. You can
Thank you,
track-
Ray.
Also, by the way, after Connor finally recognized who I was in chat, he said that he was going to be okay with talking to me, and then suddenly my messages disappeared in chat. So I'm assuming Brianna Wu.
Disappointing.
I'm assuming Brianna Wu decided that she didn't want me to talk to Connor.
We gotta go. We gotta keep playing. Keep playing the fucking video.
Conversation
Let's
if he
go.
belonged on the sexual offender registry?
Yeah.
Was
Do
that not
you
a
think-
question that you asked?
Do you think Destiny should have a public record made that tells future partners that he behaves?
But
in
you
a
don't
improper
want a
way
legal analysis.
sexually? Yeah, I'm not.
But you
asking for
don't want a legal
Correct.
analysis.
Correct.
Oh, fuck yourself, Gleeman. Let me read instead of going off.
Do you think it should be
So you
illegal
can't make a moral
to
judgment, okay.
do you think it should
Okay,
be illegal
so
to
what I'm getting so
unconsensually
far,
record someone
what
and
I'm
then
getting so
distribute
far
it unconsensually?
seems like my instincts are correct, which is a sexual predator is a type of sexual offender who has committed a particularly severe sex crime. The term predator is often used to describe someone who habitually seeks out exploitative sexual situations. Differences between a sexual predator and a sex offender: severity of the crime, frequency of the crime, prior sex offenses, type of crime. So no, I don't think that Steven should be deemed a sexual predator
This
or
is the ultimate actually.
go onto the sex offender registry for what he's done. No, I don't think so.
But of all the
I
things you
think
listed,
Is that a
you-
moral
you-
position or a legal position? Connor?
You lot, this
that
is
a
a
moral-
legal analysis based off of what I was able to pull
I'm
up
not
on a
asking
cursory
for
search.
layman. I'm not asking for layman legal analysis. I'm asking for a moral position. I'm asking about what you think, Connor.
And I already
not
gave you
asking
an
for-
answer, which is no. I don't think that going on
Okay.
the sex offender registry is proportional to the crime he's committed.
Okay.
I already answered.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, countless others. Who God only knows, maybe 10, possibly 20 people. Like,
Yeah.
what's the number where it becomes predator behavior?
Yeah, he said it's habitual and like they constantly seek out exploitative. They're all exploitative. They're all fans and they're all 19 barely legal girl. Not all, but like too many of them. Like he's sending a recording of a woman when she was 19 to a new random 19-year-old he just met. Like, and he's acting everything he just read off. You can check off. Like check.
The other thing that Connor's missing is that he's exclusively referring to Florida. Cherry's case takes place in
Mhm.
Virginia, which makes the case interstate, which
Federal,
makes
yeah.
the jurisdiction federal.
So could you remind me, like the Florida one is publishing of private facts, even though it's like a two-party like consent state, and then is the other ones like revenge porn cases, or are you familiar with what the actual?
Florida has revenge porn laws, and so does
Right.
Virginia.
But it seemed to be filed as publishing private facts in Florida rather than revenge. Is that that's because it's not criminal for?
The Florida
So-
revenge porn law took place the year after the publishing happened.
So she can't. Yeah, it's not retroactive. You can't retroactively apply laws. So, but Cherry's is
Cherry's took place in
criminal
2020.
and revenge porn. She has a criminal revenge porn case. Okay.
Answered your
How
question.
do you make sure that women he interacts with in the future know that there is a significant chance he is recording them, even when he claims otherwise?
I don't know how to solve that for the women who Destiny sleeps with.
Well,
I
I
don't.
know.
Oh.
I think
You
everyone else does.
you put him on
know
an
how to fix
island
that
for
for him.
liking drawings, Connor.
Well, this
So
is
you
this is
just
what
think
I
you should
talked
be allowed
about.
to go on, or what?
Do
what's your
you
prescription here?
do you have a solution, Queeman?
Yeah, I think you should be put on sex offender registry.
Okay. I think you're fucking insane, but that's fine.
Okay.
I
well,
think
you don't have
there's
any
I think there's
reasoning, so-
several things that should happen. I think that there should be way more. I think that this kind of shows that like the liberal sex positive attitude completely is unsustainable.
I'm angry because
Like, I think that the casual sex-
I was supposed to be having this argument with Connor, but he pussied out.
I wanted to have this argument with
attitude, to have sex with whoever attitude is completely counterproductive for women. I said this like 3 years ago. I think that my involvement with Steven was a learning lesson for me to never do anything like that again. And I think that I've mostly said that I think I've taken a lot of accountability by saying that I shouldn't have put myself in that position and that no other woman should. Of course, you can only hold women as accountable as they can be without also then saying that there is a guy who wants to hurt you and you should avoid him, right? Like there is still the part where you are avoiding the guy that wants to hurt you.
Yeah, what about that other 85%
yeah,
responsibility?
I think that, I don't know.
Connor? Says it's 85% Destiny's like problem, but he's only focusing on the fucking 15%. And he's like, oh, I'm not flip flopping, or I'm not like both sides. You fucking I hate.
It's like that's not even a true like stat. Like it's 100% Destiny's problem. like 100%.
I would say it's 99.9%.
About you guys, I think that recording, even if it's not in law right now, I think that morally there should be a law that says that you cannot record someone without their consent and then distribute it without their consent. I think
Hey,
most
what
people
do
are
you
in
guys think
agreement
would
that
happen
way.
if I just
If-
called Connor on Discord right now?
I
don't
don't-
do that. No,
I don't know.
do
I'm gonna do it.
I think you should do it.
that. Is he already done dog? Oh, whatever.
If the law doesn't exist, it should. And then if the law exists, obviously, I think that there should be a consequence for that behavior. When you are on a registry, it doesn't just say that you're on a registry for anything. It gives exactly your crime usually. I think that he should be on a registry saying that he has distributed unconsensual content in media, obviously. I don't know why you would die on the hill that that's something that he shouldn't be. I think it's obvious that he should face severe consequences for actions like that.
Okay.
It
I
should
would say that
it's habitual
Ron,
at this
Freeman,
point.
shut the
It
fuck
should
up for
follow
a
you for
second.
the
She
rest
said
of your
something I
life,
would like to
100%.
respond. I would like to respond. So, anyways, Lav, you and I both share the perspective that we are both fairly, well, I would say I am anyways.
So
fairly
anyways,
sex
let's
negative.
change the topic.
I don't like the positivity. I don't like the sweeping. Matter of fact, I think I wrote down a script the other week where I was like, and you can correct me if this isn't a summary of your perspective, was effectively that when you came onto the Twitch and YouTube political scene, you were concerned that young women were being recruited by OnlyFans and pro-sex sex workers to get into the industry at an age that was inappropriate for their like ability to consent to the concept.
Yeah.
And as a result, they were paying
Just
dire
about
social
position.
consequences and financial consequences for their participation in sex work. Does that
Yeah.
seem like an accurate summary of your belief at that time?
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's
you and I
against
are in
prostitution.
fucking lockstep right there.
Mhm.
And not only that, like I am probably with you in lockstep as far as like this degenerate fucking coomer culture that's permissive of all this bullshit. I don't think I think people, 95% of people, 99% of people should be serial monogamous. They should have one.
It's just it's laying, it's taking away responsibility of like not only Destiny but the community he's even describing as degenerate and like irresponsible for this to even happen in the first place. He's just taking away agency to making it a whole like, well, you have to follow my philosophy and therefore like rape won't happen or anything. But it's like no, like actually, like you can be kind of a degenerate coomer and never have a problem with consent. Like this is just a delusional mindset. It's just brain rot.
Yeah, well, I don't think men or women should trust him on this kind of stuff. It sounds like the contraception starts at erection kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
I mean, you want to see how repression helps people with this kind of thing. Look at the fucking Catholic Church. This is delusional. How is he going to be like? He's for limiting women whoring themselves out. But
Everything
he's not for restraining males' behavior whatsoever. It's all on the women.
Everything he's saying is fucking retarded and has nothing to do with like holding Destiny accountable. He just doesn't want to hold Destiny accountable. He just doesn't think
Yeah.
it's bad. He just doesn't think it's bad.
Yeah,
He doesn't care. It's as simple and straightforward as that.
The
He just doesn't
young-
care and doesn't think it's bad.
the young
Until it
women.
happens to his
the-
daughter or something, you know.
Yeah,
Otherwise-
the young women who this like 36, 30, however old he is, the young women whose boundaries is ignoring, which you should never, ever, ever do or make excuses for. They're just not young enough for it to be serious. They're just a year too old for it to be serious. Now, it's obviously not, he's not a pedo if they are legal age, but like, they're just over. They're just over it. Makes it even more serious. There's no excuse for it. Their age is even irrelevant. There's just no excuse for any of it, and he's not clear at all.
One partner that they stick with and that they're loyal to, and if they don't work out as a partner, then they break up and then they're loyal to their next partner and they move on from that. And what's happening right now in my fucking chat is there's all these fucking degenerate pieces of shit coomer who want me to come your way and Queeman's way and say that Steven is the worst fucking pedophile piece of shit on the fucking planet and he deserves to be burned at the fucking stake and he deserves to live on pedophile island in the fucking
He's
trailer
not a
park.
pedophile. He just needs to
But
be held
they don't
accountable. He just needs to be held accountable, and you don't want to hold him accountable because you don't care. That's the be all end all of the whole thing. You just don't care.
Like labeling it as simply as like, oh, you want to like, since sex offender is usually associated with pedophile. No, you just want to call him a pedophile. No, we want to call him something accurate, a sex offender, a sexual predator. That's what he's doing. He's breaking boundaries. You don't care. You don't care about these victims. Why even put on the front like you do care? Like, why
I
don't
want
you
to.
just shut the fuck
I
up?
think I
Like,
want to.
stay silent.
I need to see what's going on right now over there, and I might want to like try to pop in. If Yuki can pop in, I want to pop in.
Arbitrary by definition. What if Steven lived in Saudi Arabia? Okay. So you're saying
Wait, I can't hear you. I can't hear Yuki on here.
if my daughter dates a fuck boy and they're both 18 and he sends nudes to a third party of my daughter, then that person should go live on pedophile island for the rest of his life. I just want you to think about that, because my sense of justice would be I go beat the fuck out of him so he learns his lesson, and then I tell my daughter to stop being such a fucking retard, right? No paperwork, no mess, no fuss, no nothing.
So
He
you
learns
think
his
it's
lesson.
so you think it's
She
Pixie's
stops
dad?
dating dudes.
Pixie's dad's responsibility to go beat up Destiny instead of the law? Are you what is this retarded worldview you have? It's just like fuck insane.
Yes.
He's
Yes.
extended the victim blaming to the victim's father now. Her dad's a pussy for not going beating. Like
Yes, that's
he's
really good for
encouraging
society, you know?
vigilante justice. He's encouraging an illegal thing, but he won't go through the legal means of investigating it and handling it. But he'll recommend
Oh
vigilante
my
justice.
god.
Just don't anything to not hold Destiny. Look, sure he's bad and somebody should hold him like someone should go beat him up and like
Yeah.
beat the shit out of him, but like don't actually try to protect anybody from him in the future. Just don't do anything official. You know what I mean? It's just it's bad and stuff, but also don't do anything and don't talk about it. And you know what I mean? It's like what?
He just admitted, exactly. He just admitted that he doesn't value waiting for a trial, but he wants to wait for a trial in this situation.
All right, wait, don't play it for a second.
So he learns his lesson.
I'm
then
not
I
sure
tell
what's
my daughter
happening.
to stop
I guess
being such a
Yuki's not
fucking
getting in or
retard,
whatever. I
right?
don't know.
No paperwork, no mess, no fuss.
That's what he's saying right now. Okay, yeah. So you've gone up to where he is live. Is Yuki on there?
I'm not
Chris
sure.
Kringle says, "Why do people make this moral versus law?"
No.
Yuki,
He's not
put in
gonna-
chat right here. Check your Discord. I swear to Samantha Savage.
He's not gonna let her
ignoring
on. He's not gonna let her on. Go back to the lav stuff.
Fuck. Where are we at?
This okay? So
You just made it
your
gay and
your
retarded
main
about
objection,
some
your
crazy
main
story about
objection to
trailer
what I just said, which is no, Queeman, I'm not going to humor you by saying this sentence, is that Steven will still have money, so he'll be fine. So hold on, I'm gonna flip this on you.
No, I'm pointing
You
out the
want
fact that
him?
you
You
brought up two
think
criteria
it's
that make no
appropriate
sense
for
in
him
the
to
context.
live in a trailer park with pedophiles? You think that's
Okay.
an accurate
No, he didn't
consequence for what
fucking
he said?
say
I-
that. He didn't fucking
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah, no, he didn't.
He said that he wants
but he can-
future
he can-
victims. He said that he wants future victims to be aware and to prevent future predation by making his future partners aware of that he's a sex offender.
I mean, but he can live there if he wants to. We're not stopping him.
Yeah, yeah, but
I don't
I
think that
just,
this
that's
is a-
just
A
That is the
productive
consequence.
conversation.
That's not why
Do
it's
you
bad.
think?
But Queeman
you-
wants to fucking shitpost, so
Hey,
we'll
Connor,
shitpost. Let's go.
do you think that Destiny is a sexual predator?
No.
And why is that? What constitutes in your eyes?
we're
a sexual
past this, I
predator?
think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
are
we
definitely
watched this
past because
already.
this is the Patrick Wallet meme in real time. Hold on.
Someone without their
was-
consent and just
Can we
Okay.
just hear his answer
So is
again,
Steven a
though?
sexual
Since
predator?
we're...
No. Yeah, I'm not. Listen, guys, if you want to take a
Connor, this is like-
orbiter or former orbiter and get them to call him a pet, so I'm just going to ask the question again because
Okay.
again, this
Nobody
is
said to
about
call him a
Destiny
Destiny
Warrior.
pedophile.
Okay.
No, fuck.
Yeah,
Did
we'll leave it here.
That's a
Paris
straw
Jackson,
man. It's
Hasan?
like,
Tom Piker,
it's like watching Erudite again, where like first he tries saying, "Oh, Lav, you and I agree on so many things," and then he switches to straw manning it. Like, why, if you just had principles and you had nothing to hide, why couldn't you just confront it? Why do you need rhetorical tricks? Why does he need to be deceptive here? Why can't he just address it? It doesn't make sense. Very concerning. Very, very concerning.
It's the
Or she
Brianna
was
Wu.
18 years old. Yes, I have
It's-
repeatedly said this.
Mm.
Oh wait, what's going on?
Uh-oh.
This. I don't know what's
It
going on.
doesn't.
Question?
It's like
Okay,
it's insane. Actually, it's insane.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. Fucking
Oh,
hell.
did he end stream? Is that why? What's going on? We good?
Somebody has asked you, did Hasan Piker have sex with Paris Jackson when she was 17? You said yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we've been through this, but it was useful to hear that bullshit one more time.
No, it's not.
No, the denial, just like the
Public
way that he
record
denied
made
it.
that tells future partners that he behaves in
But
a
you don't
improper
want a
way.
legal analysis.
Connor wants to talk to Smeth. All right.
He wants to talk to me? Yo.
Apparently, that's what Ray's saying.
Star Wars from start
All
to finish
right.
playlist. Well, I mean, I'm kind
Let's
of
see
working
if-
on it. Saying my position isn't a flip flop. Yeah. Christian Blair's was like, damn, I got the gotcha, but I didn't write
I don't know if he's saying no.
it when it mattered. True. But to be honest, I was probably getting fucking random. I was getting queefed.
I feel
Are
like
you
he
sure-
would
are
like
you-
message you or something.
Are
Do
you
have
sure
his
he didn't
Discord?
say? Are you sure he didn't say he's on meth?
Getting swarmed by queefers. I just finished the last League series by Jack Campbell, so fucking good based. Anyone that couldn't see how degenerate Destiny was is a moron. How can anyone believe his political views and portray himself as being above the right, yet his life and his actions are degeneracy? Lysandro Pena, I mean, you know, I complain about way more than
DM'd
these
him.
fuckers complain. They're just all up.
Okay.
I need to fucking press him about this fucking 85% Destiny's fault, but also he doesn't want to talk about it. And also, I just need to get him to admit that he just doesn't care.
Yes.
Like that's the whole conversation. Like he does all this other bullshit, but no, like talking about, oh, Lav, you did whatever thing that people don't like about you, but no, I just don't care about this. And I need to press him about the whole sex offender registry thing. Fuck.
I don't care where we land over here. We're just going to see what's being said here, and then we're just going to respond until Smeth has to go or talk to Connor or whatever, if that's happening.
Will not.
Yeah, you're being asked for an opinion on this. You're being asked for a
You
stance.
keep
You're-
minimizing.
You said, how do
Mhm.
I convince you that I actually think about this the way that you want me to? And I gave you an example. Now, we've been arguing over the whole sex offender thing. I don't know why it suddenly comes down to, well, if you care about this so much, but that's not the point. We were talking about what our prescriptions are here, what we think of the situation, what our
Oh
opinions
well,
are.
if we're
I
just
don't know why that
sharing our
applies to
opinions,
the-
Queeman,
finish.
if we're just sharing our opinions,
I mean, yeah,
then
we're
you
on
two
debate live stream.
think that he should be on a sex offender registry, and I don't.
Okay, so could you give me reasoning for
That's
that?
what
What's
streaming
wrong with
is. You're
my
fucking
reasoning?
supposed
Why
to be
do you-
sharing your
because on
opinions.
And yeah,
He
you're
can't. The
supposed to like
reasoning
stand
is
on
that Brian.
business too. You're supposed to stand on business. You should like, at least if you're gonna have this kind of take, you should be more willing to like explain, elaborate a little bit more. But like you're
He
not apparently. Like you're
he
kind of being
can't.
cowardly.
He can't. The position is, I will do whatever Brianna Wu pays me to do or say, or whatever it seems. She doesn't even have to tell me what to say. I'll try and figure it out and brush as best as I can.
Talking shit about somebody powerful that could possibly, you know, give me some type of benefit in some way. I don't think Brianna Wu would like it if I did that. Yeah.
Spectrum of crime committed by human beings. There's sharing nudes and pornographic videos, and then there's forcibly raping people. And I think there's probably a spectrum of crime in between
well,
that are
let's-
not as serious. Lav, shut the fuck up. He asked a question. I'm going to answer it. So there's a spectrum of sex crime here, right? So I think that rapists and pedophiles should probably be killed by the state. Okay.
Real.
So he's so
Sounds fair.
And then
that's
I
so
think that people who
insane
send
that literally Destiny
pornographic
should not be held accountable, but like rapists and pedophiles should be killed.
Yes.
Like what the fuck?
You say that so you don't have to do anything. If you say, like, you just have to say this thing, and you're a great guy, and we don't have to make any progress in the world.
What? What, Yuki?
I want to drop a giant fucking F slur,
No.
but I can't.
I don't
I
avow,
can't
and I will
encourage
not
it. I
allow
can't
it.
encourage it for my safety of my stream.
Yeah.
No.
I
Literally,
would,
literally
I
right
can't.
at right at the end, he's like, he's like, oh well, let me go real quick. I got some Discord notifications, and he goes and he looks, and he's like, oh, and he's like reading through, and he's like, oh, and he's like, no, like, Sleepy, I can't bring you on right now. I don't have time. It's like
Oh.
it's like I'm an hour over as it is. And then he
He's
reads
got
your
plenty of time.
and then he reads your comment, Emery, and he's like, I didn't run from Smeth. Like, I like Sleepy a lot more than I like Smeth. If I
Why?
don't have time for
Why?
Sleepy,
There's never been any ill will between us until this one thing. But he knows that I could fucking rape him. He knows.
literally
He knows that I
fucking-
would. He knows that I would. He would be so fucking flat because I would fucking steamroll right over him until he's fucking a decal that you can see from space on the surface of the United States. That's how much weight would come down on him.
He
And he's
literally
fucking coward.
Sure.
he literally fucking says that if he doesn't have enough time for me, then he definitely doesn't have enough time for you, which is fucking coward behavior.
He's never had any issue with me ever before. It's just this one thing that we just disagree with, and he knows that I can fucking destroy him. This is so.
The fucking absolute asinine part, the fucking absolutely criminal part is that half of my comments were getting deleted from the chat until just now.
I would say
fucking
Smith
coward.
bucked us up to a big W because he basically just admits defeat to you.
Dude,
Like
fucking-
you don't even have to
fucking
talk.
Woo.
You win.
Fucking Wu hates me and Smeth so much that she was
Smeth won.
making sure that Connor wouldn't face me and Smeth. Because Wu hates Smeth because Smeth is a confessed fucking AGP. And fucking Wu hates me just
No,
because.
it's because of Mr. Girl. It's not because of fucking AGP or something. It's because of Mr. Girl. Let's
Well,
just
also, Wu
continue.
hates
I will
AGPs,
just have to. I will just have to rhetorically rape
Traffic
Connor in spirit.
Hey, Smeth,
Images.
Smeth, I promise you something, okay? When I get on the next counterfire,
Yeah.
I will give you the StreamYards link.
Okay, good.
The
Let's do it.
ultimate betrayal. Wait.
Could you
Probably
give the entire
receive-
chat
I'm gonna
Civil
light a
pe-
counterfire up under his ass. Let's
He's
fuck
gonna
her.
be the Sam Cedar moment.
penalties and maybe some criminal penalties depending on how reckless they are.
So what's the
That's
list
my
used for?
spectrum.
What's the list used
But
for?
you're
Yeah,
saying
you're
that
on the
you want him to
fucking
suffer a consequence
spectrum,
over
buddy.
here,
Wait,
and I'm
no, no,
saying
no,
that it's
what-
not
What's the
that
list
big of a
used for? So
consequence.
you think pedophiles and rapists should be killed, and
Yep.
people who share unconsensual material should be given civil penalties. Who's the list used for?
Pedophiles.
But I thought they were
It's
killed.
not just pedophiles.
Well, I mean,
You
I would
got
kill
him-
them.
you got him-
Yeah, yeah.
You
So
got
who-
him-
I'm talking about how it's used
so
now.
yeah,
Gonna
so
be on the
which
list then.
crimes? Yeah, who's on the list to you? Who should be on the list?
The list is a death row list.
No, the sex offender registry. You fucking retard.
Yeah, I wouldn't keep sex offenders around.
You wouldn't have any sex offender registry. There's no sex crimes you can think of that people
You
shouldn't.
can't
be killed
imagine
for,
any
that should be put on a
utility
list
for informing
Well, I mean, you're-
future partners of the fucking sex offenders. Fuck!
Did they not ask him about AIDS?
Either-
yet?
either-
Like,
either-
I
either
think-
we- either we kill you or you would-
sex
either
offenders
we
are
kill
rapists and
you-
pedophiles, like child molesters, and that's it. Like,
Either we
he's-
kill-
he's not
either-
thinking of, like,
either
the
we
more
kill
nuanced
you-
things that's happening here.
Either we kill you or we let you off scot free. Is his worldview?
Yeah.
What a fucking stupid
I'm gonna
asshole!
Evening
Ah!
Waka.
I'm gonna go out
I
on a
will
bit of a
destroy
limb.
you.
I'm gonna go out on a bit of a limb here and say he's homophobic. Would he also be against the utility of the AIDS and those lists? Would he also find those pointless since we can just kill them too? Like, what the fuck is wrong?
You're
Why-
smart.
why
you got
won't-
that
why won't
Jewish
you
IQ.
call him a
Listen,
predator?
I'm in here getting beaten
No,
up
I'm
by
asking, there's
two
not a
Jews.
single- there's not a
Hold on,
single
hold on.
crime
This is an
you can
important
think
point.
about.
He's admitting defeat. He's getting beaten up by two Jews. The Jews win again. You guys are constantly winning, Smeth. You are now Jewish. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I can say that now. All right.
Queeman, this is an important point. I am surrounded. I am a Gaelic Goyim,
Oh my god!
and I am surrounded by two
Humble brag.
Ashkenazi Jewish people who are.
What the fuck is this?
What is
I'm
this?
barely Ashkenazi. I'm Mexican.
Well, anyways, the point is that like real.
Hola.
Kill our sweep. Okay, kill our sweep with Connor counterpoints, Lav, and Queeman. Who am I going to kill and who am I going to sweep for? I'll sweep for Queeman. I'll sweep for Lav, and I will kill CounterPoints.
It really is.
Realistically, you keep asking me for.
Dude, it really is like because I've like had like plenty of I've had streams with Connor before, very cordial. Like
Yeah.
he said he likes me. Like it really is just Brianna Wu is a fucking brain worm in his fucking brain. It really is. It's
Kind of
like
part of
go
the
back
problem is
go back
is
with my history. Of, like,
niceties.
I
The
mediated.
niceties is the poison.
I
It's the poison.
I mediated like a fucking shitty debate between him and Elder Drazi, like not like a year ago or whatever. Dude, it's just it's just Brianna Wu, and she doesn't want the bad optics hit of the Smeth because of Mr. Girl, and she because you getting us having any associate, and then he knows I would fucking destroy him. Fuck. Oh, I hate being fucking cucked by fucking cucks. I hate being fucking cucked by fucking cucks. Ah!
Yeah, that's pretty sad, man. That's
The
pretty
more
sad.
and more I think about the way the sphere works is Destiny runs it as if everyone should cuck themselves to him because it is like a cuck philosophy. That's just how it's run. It's the cuck sphere of like liberal politics. Like progressive victory is cuck incarnate.
Solutions, but I know that both of you are wildly intelligent. So what do you think are the crimes that are in the middle that warrant a sex offense registry?
You're sitting in the chair, Connor. Get out of the chair.
So
Get
that's
out of
what
the
they
chair,
asked him.
please.
They just
But
asked
don't
him that
warrant a
question.
death penalty.
It's not a
Connor,
middle
it's
to me,
the
because I
fact
think
the
death
fact that we
penalty's legit
named
anyway.
6
Why don't
things
you just
off
answer
the
a question
top.
instead of being a fag about it, Queeman?
It's the fact
I
that
don't
we
think
named
the death
6.
penalty-
Chill out.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
about
they-
I don't know about that language, and also I don't know about why does our Discord keep getting? I need to fucking. I didn't expect somebody to keep joining and leaving repeatedly, rapidly. Like I maybe I should
You
turn
can
off the.
mute that. Yeah,
Yeah,
you can
I need to
turn it
go into
off.
my fucking settings. The only thing is when I'm streaming, it lags up my computer a bit when I'm streaming the way I do lately with a lot of different stuff happening. Continue. Sorry.
You're good.
Different
There's no in between
instances.
to me, Connor, because that endpoint doesn't exist. I'm asking
Oh,
for
well,
your
you're
opinion.
a pussy.
So for
So
once, could you give an
Yeah,
opinion?
we're just
I was
friends
gonna
sharing
say,
opinions
the-
here,
the
Queeman.
one thing that's gonna happen is that if for your stream, Smeth, because you're monetized around this point, Connor's gonna start dropping a lot of hard F slurs
Okay.
because he's mega pissed, and that's what kind of got me turbo pissed. Especially when he started being turbo pissy with me in the comments.
I don't avow. It's like no, yeah. You go in the comments way after. I need to watch the rest of his debate with them, and I do not avow the use of these slurs, and I will disavow as soon as that happens every single time.
Oh no, I mean the algorithm's still gonna pick him up.
I
That's what
mean,
he's
someone
doing, right?
defending
Like,
predators it's really surprising. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's defending a sex pest, so
gotta say,
But
gotta
isn't
say.
it another behavior of like burying like that all of the investigation is gonna get taken down and everything's removed from the record and from the public, and it reminds me of a fella called not Lay Geno, who whenever he is losing a debate he just pulls his dick out on the stream and then they have to take it all down. So he never loses a debate with that tactic.
Kind of hilarious.
It is the first 32
this went.
times.
I do kind of like how this went from this is the sympathetic making of a monster. This is the, look at this like horrible, tragic, this massive sympathetic origin story. Please pity this man. To you're such a fucking F slur, you F slur, you fucking F slur. Don't you fucking F slur to just.
Yeah, you guys picked up on it. I thought of a word for it for Lee Geno. It's they call it porn bombing, but this is more like slur bombing. You're not just using slurs because you like free speech. You're just trying to shut down the content and get away with something.
Maybe he's just. I think he's probably just destabilized emotionally and just freaking out.
Yeah, no, he's literally off his element. He's rattled.
Yes. I cannot believe he would
Carmen
not.
got him.
I cannot believe he wouldn't fucking talk to me. So fucking pissed.
Well,
he wouldn't talk to me.
No, but this started on Twitter earlier because I wanted to talk to him and like, I mean, like, understand after having all that conversation, not wanting to talk to me because he's like tired of it and shit. But like, I mean, I wanted to have this conversation. He's such a coward. Oh my god. But he wanted to get Lav because he thought Lav would be an easy victim. And then he was like, oh, but what about the Hasan thing or whatever? He thought he could fucking get away with that. And
it's like he's willing to talk to Lav and Queeman and get
because
pretty much flamed.
Bigger
like,
numbers.
Because bigger numbers. But if he gets flamed by you, it comes off as way more pathetic. Extremely pathetic by comparison, yeah.
There will be
like at least you can add the excuse of like they got bigger audiences and numbers and more simps or whatever.
There will be flaming.
You pathetic wretch.
I'm not a Queeman.
Which crimes do you think?
Queeman. In real life, I would eat you.
God.
Like you are 5'2".
Oh
my god!
I'm gonna beat you up over the internet. That's insane.
Oh my god! This guy sucks. He's so pathetic. Oh my fucking god! He's shed his skin. The lizard within has come out.
I sincerely hope that after
he's
this,
so
the
emotionally
charitability and the
rattled.
likability of Connor is dwindled down to nothing for Queeman because. Yeah, this is rough. This is like everything Queeman would like just like make fun of. Like
that was an amazing catch on the list though. That's what like opened it up. That was a Mr. Girl fucking level catch, and that shows that everyone else is sweeping. That like this young lad can come in and like he's just caught him right in the middle of it. That's why he's so pissed off.
I don't think it was it was just obvious. I think that he's just. I don't even think it was. Maybe I'm just on Mr. Girl's level, but I think it was just obvious that. Like he literally does not like he literally has a black and white worldview where it's either kill pedophiles and like or just everybody gets completely off scot-free.
Yeah, he would have got angry anyway. I agree with that. He would have still got us pissed off and used the slurs anyway, but that really opened him up. He just has no comeback because he can't.
These are like the kind of comments too that you make when you know you're just like you're done. Like you can't make an argument.
Keep playing. We need to see him.
Yeah.
And you weigh 110 pounds. I could choke you with one hand, and I could eat your body in a single meal. So don't say coward, don't say bitch, don't say pussy, because if you ever came within 6 feet of me, you would die. You would die.
Let's bring this back to a
you would bitched out by Queeman spitting. Bitched out by Destiny for 5 years. True.
Die.
Shall we?
You would die. So anyways, Queeman, because we're just friends here, sharing our opinions. I've asked you the question 3 or 4 times now. I would like to hear an answer. Why don't? No, I asked you a question. I asked you a question.
I'm not answering.
I asked you a question. And that question was,
fine.
I would like
fine.
to hear.
Take your cocks out. I'll be the judge. Fine.
Okay, classic lab moment.
Have a nice one.
I'm so glad they both.
The point is, what crimes do you think lie in the middle that warrant a sex offense registry?
I mean, pretty much any sex crime, I think, should be on sex offense registry. So
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
It goes from child molestation, rape, recording without consent, a bunch of crimes I could list off.
Okay, so you think you think a rapist and somebody who records a sexual audio log should share the same penalty?
Nope.
So this is the problem. Hold on. Can I talk?
Connor, but they should still both be on the registry.
Let me talk. Queeman is.
Well,
let mommy talk. Let mommy talk, Queeman. Let mommy talk.
I will be respectful.
It's so fucking amazing.
Okay. If you
talk.
I don't even know how to have this conversation with you right now. We've given now 6 different instances of a pattern of Stephen releasing things without people's consent.
Okay.
It's so by itself, I think out of 10, recording someone, showing it to someone else, 10 being like rape, 1 being like coming up to someone and saying you look good tonight. I think probably on its face, if it was private and without like a global public stage, the Pixie situation would be like a 6. I think the Cherry situation would be like a 7 or an 8. Given what we know about, given this being completely public and the damage that this could personally do to Pixie, especially, given the fact that she like wants to dedicate her life and career to this space, this could damage this is irreparable damage to her. So I think that makes it a little worse. And then also the fact that this is that we know now through multiple direct messages, private messages, that Steven has a blackmail kink, and he's played out this kink with multiple
Yeah.
people and asked people to
Genius.
do it. And now suddenly he's saying, "Oh, I'm not even going to look for the leaker anymore because no one cares." I think that this story is even more nefarious than you're willing to admit. So I think, do I think that he raped someone forcibly? Is this a Brock Turner situation? No, but I don't think that that's the only sex crime you need to have done to be a sex criminal. Obviously, he has a pattern of habitually doing things without women's consent or without men's consent. Obviously, he has a sadistic pleasure in releasing these things to people without consent.
So
It doesn't make any sense to not call him a sexual predator. We named 6 instances.
Okay, how does he? He's gonna
of sexual
he's gonna pivot.
impropriety
He's
off
gonna
the
pivot.
cuff.
He's gonna make something.
No.
He's about to talk about something completely separate. That's my bet. What is
Yeah,
it?
you're absolutely right. It's not going to make sense, is it? I know that for sure.
Well, yeah.
But Lav is a genius. She's tied it together so perfectly here that it's clear. It's very, very clear. And what's disgusting is, in order to deal with these minimizers that are sweeping, we have to develop this like number system for women's trauma. She doesn't think it's a 6 out of 10 or an 8 out of 10. She knows it's fucking horrific. But in order to communicate with this fascist fucking weirdo, she has to put it into a number system. I don't think you can get that high count in that.
All right.
Imagine being solo T, you're woo gimped on live stream. Lav is dog walking Connor right now. We must stop her. And Bobby Johnson says blackmail kink makes total sense. Agreed.
My bet is he's gonna talk about a completely different topic. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, that's my prediction as well.
And we don't even have all the information yet. So
okay, let's presume, for the sake of conversation, that we have half a dozen women whose porn was shared without their consent, and Queeman thinks that he should be on a sex offense registry.
Okay.
I think he doesn't live in the real
No,
world.
it's not a
and his
different
country
topic.
currently lets out.
It's not a
But
different
But
topic.
he's triangulated. He's triangulated Koyman. We're asking what his position is. He shouldn't have to cite this. He's an old man compared to Koyman, isn't he? Why is he? He can answer it without any triangulation.
Yeah. He's not gonna just say what he thinks.
Yeah, you were right. Yeah. Pivot. Well, a slight pivot. He's still like partial truth. You know, he still wants to make it seem like he's trying. Because she asked you very clearly and laid it all out for you. So you can't just. He's more slippery than you expected. He can't just pivot directly. He's gonna do it gradually.
Yeah.
But
You've got no idea what you're talking about.
Do you want to look up the fucking grooming gang fucking like release?
Yeah. You're going off of a Twitter misinformation post that was talking about how some girl got.
Okay, why are you guys doing this? We're having a conversation.
It never actually received a 5-year sentence. They all got life.
Yeah, we paused too soon. You were just right. He just pivoted.
Okay. So hold on. You want to do, dude? This was in the fucking loaner box link. You fucking loser! You're making shit up live on fucking stream.
You're talking about the case that was going around Twitter.
This was something that loaner box linked me.
Where a grooming gang that quadruple penetrated a 12-year-old or something got 3 to 5 years, according to some Twitter post. But it wasn't even true. If you went and looked up the case, the guy who facilitated.
No, that's not even what I'm talking about. Okay.
Oh.
Rape sentences, UK.
Oh my god, I was right. It just
Do you mean the
turns into other subjects, and it's like, okay, like in a way, I understand why they're doing it, because it is content, and it's like making Connor look stupid.
It's the type. It's this type of. Oh yeah, responding to it. It's this type of Destiny-esque morality. It's not just Destiny, but definitely the DGG has this type of morality where you cannot assess the morality of anything without comparing it to other things, and that's by design. Destiny does that so that he can downplay anything he does. You just point to something else, you say that this is worse, you say that this is less worse, and you can always position yourself to look like you're better than someone else.
Yes, that's what I was saying. Other guy has picked that up as well. I pointed this out yesterday. It's called the two quoque fallacy. It's like, you say, I'm a piece of shit, and the response is you too. And then Mr. Girl goes so far as to say, okay, I'm a piece of shit. Now can we talk about the original claim? But you never get that.
Yeah.
Execution guidelines, where it's
you
like
have
the basic
literally
guidelines
the
up to
UK
7
government
years.
fucking website saying that the average length of sentencing is 4 to 19 years.
4 to 19. That's a pretty big range, Connor. The average sentencing is 4 to 19 years. That's what it says. That sounds like a retarded fucking webpage you're reading, Connor. I don't know where you found that.
It's your country's website, you fucking
4 to
moron.
19 years is the average. Show me that. Show me.
He's
Send me
so
that right now.
tilted.
It's
The
literally
average sentence is 4 to
.co.uk.
19 years.
Stuart Mills Solicitors. It's your fucking lawyers.
It's my lawyers. It's my
His
lawyers.
Yeah, they're in the UK.
They're in London, like everyone in England.
UK brethren, I guess. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Queeman.
I don't think
He
does
j-
it
he
matter
just wants to
whether
be
or not
funny.
we want
He wants
talk
to be
about,
funny
like,
and
the
distract.
Wait,
predation
pause
of
it,
whether
pause
or
it.
not
I
she
have
should
I have
be
a
on the
totally
register.
different because this is I just have a totally random thing to say. My new therapist that I'm gonna have has a British accent. I don't know her yet.
Nice.
But I'm told that she's gonna. I just think about that. Like you don't. So it's as in, we have a Brit in here, and I'm not talking to you. But it's just like there's some like retardation in like Americans' heads where like a British accent is like seems like more magical, and I feel like I'm above that. But also I feel like it might work on me. Maybe because my new therapist has a British accent, I'll get the Harry Potter effect, you know.
Yeah, you'll be fucking drinking tea and watching Doctor Who next week. You'll be fucking well happy.
It's not that. No. It's because Americans are exposed to British accents through media, so through Harry Potter, through Lord of the Rings and shit. So when we hear British accents, we see them as like more cool than just normal people.
Yeah, but we have our disparity as well. Like the point of like Harry Potter is J.K. Rowling really wanted to go to boarding school in Eton and like be upper class because it's such a brutal class system. So it's
I
actually
know.
the
I
way
get
they
it.
prevent
You
Washington DC.
British. I met so many utterly retarded British people that I feel like I've desensitized myself. So
Yeah.
anyway, whatever.
I'm
Well,
sorry,
whether or not
he's trying to
Europe
be
is
he's trying to be
loose
funny
on-
here as well. Like with these questions, this is what I pointed out with like Tom. He's sitting there for 2 minutes with these 3 questions. I'm making a time up, but it was a fucking long time. He's sitting there with these 3 important questions on his screen, and they never get asked. They need to be emphasized. Like you don't just get to be funny about this and joke about lawyers and stuff like that. You've been asked a very important and serious question where you're benefiting from other people's suffering. So they should never.
Who's benefiting?
Well, he's benefiting from the
Connor?
progressive victory stuff and these associations and the fact that they'll all clean up for each other and they'll all
Oh
protect each other.
yeah.
So they should be like we need a Jesse Lee Peterson. Like they just need to be forced to like Cherry. So someone mentioned content before. I was going to say Cherry.
I got a message from
Lav-
I got a message from
Lav isn't doing content
Hold on,
here.
Smith has something important.
I
to
got
say.
I got a
sorry.
message.
Let him
I
say
got
it.
a message from CounterPoints. I want it. All right. I think we might do something.
Nice.
Can you not bring Lav in here and let it improve our days a lot? Is she still streaming with him?
I have a stream. I have a stream scheduled tomorrow, talking to a former DGG member, longtime DGG member, who wants to talk about like how to escape the DGG mind prison and as part of the conversation. But after that, I think.
After that, what?
Okay. We're gonna me and Connor are gonna talk next Saturday afternoon.
Alrighty.
All right.
Sounds
Awesome.
good.
All right. Anyway, let's continue.
You mean tomorrow?
Fucking
No,
rapist.
next Saturday.
Yeah, nice.
That's a long time.
I know.
No, it's a side tangent.
Yeah, I don't think it's even that relevant. Obviously, at least publicly.
Queen wants everybody who's shared a fucking nude to be a sex offense register. Okay, got it. So in Steven's case, actually, this is the question. Yeah, how long do you think
I'll
you should
go
be
as far as to say it's the pattern, not necessarily a one-time thing where it's like, yeah, clearly this is fucking wrong and you should be
But
held
here's
liable. I don't know
here's
sex
the
offenders proper by that point, but
here's the one thing that I don't think Connor gets. I think that Connor's still thinking in the mindset of like, oh, people who are sharing nudes are probably in high school, right? Like he's probably thinking that like, oh, like revenge porn or whatever is something that like high schoolers and all this other shit do. But the main thing is that yeah, that's kind of true. And most of that's handled by the juvenile hall system. And we don't tend to add people who go to juvenile hall to the sex offender registry. But we do add people who do revenge porn who are over the age of 18 to the juvenile
So
to the sex
you're
offender
saying that
registry.
he's emotionally still a teenager, is what you're saying?
Yeah, considering the fact that he is essentially threatened to considering he's acted like a high school jock who's lashed out at Queeman already. I'm surprised he's not been like, yeah, pens on that geek, you'll never make the football team.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the jock being bribed
I
by
could break
by
you.
the?
I could eat you.
Can you imagine?
could
You
eat you.
imagine the
Yeah,
jock wouldn't
I
be
can break you.
bribed with like Brianna Wu or like if he really was that, which he probably shouldn't be anyway. But if he was that, he wouldn't be hanging around with Brianna Wu. You wouldn't sell out to this person when you're using all these like F slurs and everything, and your puppet master is a trans person.
Don't you get it?
And he's-
Brianna Wu's edgy. She's okay with some F
But
slurs here and there.
that's his job though. She has him so that he's the edgy conservative guy. That's his role. So that's
you can't
actually
really, you can't choose your boss, can you?
just a goofball, guys.
Incarcerated, Queeman.
By the way, it won't be all
until
over by
he's
next
dead.
Saturday. This is going to go on for a while. It's going to be on ice for a while. Destiny has his hands tied, so the speculation and the people talking about it is going to go on for quite a while. Some of my chat said it'll all be over by next Saturday. It really won't.
It's not. It's definitely not.
No.
Not
It's
only
gonna-
because
This is going to take a long time. This is
like
going to
Destiny will
Hey,
be
guys.
streaming on February 1st. There will be
Hey-
more
hey,
victims
guys.
probably coming out
Guys,
as
you
time
know
goes
the
on.
you know the John Wick quote, the whole I've been thinking, I've been asked for a long time, are you
Am I back?
I-
I'm thinking I'm
Yeah.
back.
I'm thinking, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking I'm back.
for the first time in a fucking long time, I've used a fucking Twitter account that I haven't fucking used. There you fucking go.
I'm thinking I'm black.
I'm thinking I'm fucking black, all right?
Oh my god.
There you fucking go, guys.
No, I
I'm not thinking
would
investing a
love a
particular length of-
meaning-free answer.
a
How
particular
long
length-
should Steven be incarcerated for
I
the
don't-
offenses that you currently know about?
It depends.
Here,
Let's see
check.
how many people come out. Let's see. Yeah, we'll find out. Yeah,
Check the side chat there.
Oh, you're being a pussy. Why don't
I'll check side chat 1 second.
you
would
own
be good.
something? You spineless
I am
fucking
owning it, I am owning it.
coward.
I do think
Well,
it's
I think-
wrong.
I think-
do
I think
it's
there's an
just
argument to be
prison. I
made.
do think he should only register. That's what I'm.
There's
owning.
there's an argument to be made that he actually I don't think that he would benefit from prison time. I think it would behoove the
So
world
no incarceration. You
have
just have
him
to go
on
live on
a
pedophile island.
registry. No, I think it would be a good idea for him to not face jail time. He's not going to get jail time, but I think having a permanent marker on his record when any girl he ever dates or has sex with Googles his name, that there is something that says that he has done this. Yeah, I do believe that is absolutely completely fair.
Beautiful tweet.
to do.
Okay. So, all right,
thinking
just
fucking
summarizing your guys' perspective. You think that when Steven moves into a new apartment complex, he should have to walk around to all of his neighbors and say, "Hey, just to let you know, I'm on the sex offender registry."
Okay,
You think
listen,
that he should
Connor,
be registered onto
shut
a
the
website where
pause
people
and
know
pause
his
and pause and
address?
pause and pause.
You
Do
think
ever-
that he
does
should have
every-
to tell
What that's okay. Yeah. Clearly, like that's not 100% appropriate for the situation. What it really should be is that every time someone becomes a new orbiter, they're informed. That like that's the, but it just so yeah. The sex offender registry is is imperfect and it's very generalized and it's not going to work quite as well for the cyber crimes. But there is a substantial need for people to be informed of the dangers of interacting with Destiny sexually, especially online. And the sex offender registry is a good step to doing that. And yes, there are problems with it. You know what? Let's put Destiny on the sex offender registry, and then we'll all start advocating for improvements to the sex offender registry. Maybe we should make it more complicated and make it work better for this situation. Maybe we should all get on, start campaigning for that, so that it would be better serve Destiny, so it'll be better for him. But you know what? I'm on board. I'm on board.
The other thing is to take into consideration is they're talking about the road to redemption, the things that he could do. Like he's not he's not a perfect person, but he can improve or whatever. But it's like the first step to that is acknowledging that Destiny's not taking accountability for any of this, not meaningfully. And until that happens, there is no point of redemption. Like you have to hold them accountable.
Yeah,
you have
once
to be
once he
realistic.
says I'm a horrible person. Once he starts he has
Confessing.
once he starts doing that, Max flips on him. Max that's been Max's if he was that guy, but he isn't that guy. He's not capable of being that guy.
Yep.
It's not just holding them. Just one thing. It's not just about holding them accountable. He's tied up in the litigation, a criminal case, a civil case. It's not just holding him accountable, but keeping the cleanup crew busy as well, so they can't do any more damage to these women and make out they're just crazy. And I don't know if they've. I wouldn't be surprised if they've discussed it and agreed on it. They've had a little focus meeting, but the line seems to be well, at least he didn't record it without the consent, even though they know about Cherry, but she's crazy, like Anna's crazy. The one they still call BPD Anna.
I heard there's a lot of recordings.
There's many recordings. There's
publicly.
There's a lot of people in DGG who were There's a lot of people in Destiny memes who are talking about all of the recordings that they've gotten from, if you went into Destiny memes, there were a lot of people that were talking about all of the recordings that they received from Destiny.
Oh yeah.
Over the year.
Oh yeah.
I heard Google Drive for it. There's probably a lot. Sorry, Smith.
Yeah. I heard there's a big amount of it, and in Destiny, it's himself admitted to going out on grinder dates, recording things without people's knowledge. He'd already public that's public now. So
is that comfort? It seems obvious if there's. I thought there was 2 cases where he's saying the audio is bad because the phone's in my pocket. That heavily implies there's no consent. Is it confirmed beyond that?
No, that's what I'm talking about. But
do you guys mind?
Good enough for me.
Yeah.
Seems very fucking weird.
I'm gonna invite somebody in here.
Who?
Special guest.
Brianna Wu. Let's go.
No, I'm inviting Food Shops.
All right.
Yeah,
Food
sure.
Shops.
That's fine.
Let's go.
Let's see. Pixie said there's countless messages, so it's not even in the private in the back rooms. This is public. Like she's saying, yeah, there's countless. There's a lot. So
it was kind of confirmed by Connor before he ends stream that Pixie that actually Pixie did give consent for it to be released.
For it to be released?
For the information to be released.
What information? Can you be more clear here, just to be careful? What information?
The the screenshots of her text messages.
Yeah, with who? With Destiny, or with Erudite, or with Straight Raid, or with which messages?
Like the fact that that she basically gave permission for the Beckett and Sunday videos to be released.
Okay, but she said she didn't like the Sunday video. That's surprising.
It's bad. It smears her. It's awful.
Oh, okay. So she was willing to let him talk about it, but she didn't like the way that he did it.
Yeah, it was awful.
Okay, sorry, but no, I think it was by the $1 million. There was minimization from him.
The thing is that the way that it was said was the videos were coordinated with Pixie, and then the stream cut off. So that leaves a lot of room for interpretation.
I don't know
And
what
it's
that
like,
means. Okay, let's just.
yeah,
I don't know
it's
what that means.
like, the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know what that means.
Going forward, that he's a sex offender.
Yep.
And you don't think that he should be incarcerated for his
Let
very
me know
serious
when-
crimes, but
When Food Shops joins and you give her roles, by the way, Emmy.
Understood.
he should 100% have like.
I'm not against
his
food shops being
housing
here, but they're starting to get a
and
lot of
possi-
people in here.
All right.
It's just
You
more
don't wanna-
exhausting.
You wanna-
don't grow your
I don't know.
son.
I want food
Don't
shops.
grow your
Get
son all
food
that.
shops in
What do
here.
you want to do to resolve that, buddy? I don't.
Are they a certain kind of people?
What is your
like-
intention, Smeth?
I'm telling you that I don't like there being a call with like 5 fucking people.
Okay.
But we'll have food shops in, okay? I want to see food shops. I want the. I
I
want.
do.
I want to see Food Shops back, if only because Connor's smeared her so much.
Yes, we need food shops to kill.
Food
Connor.
Shops needs to put her fucking bare hands through Connor's fucking head.
I'll tell you what, Smeth. If
What?
it gets too crazy,
It says it's
if
locked.
if people
She said
like
she
Yuki,
keeps
shut
locked.
up right now.
Yeah.
If people start talking over each other to where it becomes incomprehensible, I will make an executive decision to
Kick me.
remove someone, and it will be all up to me, not you, Smith. Okay?
Okay.
Or yeah, it'll mostly be me. Yeah,
Okay, you do it.
I'll keep you in mind. All right.
Just
Alright, sounds
complain a lot in his DMs.
So that means, hold on. To be clear, that means when me and Smeth, since we're the streamers here, like right now, we're the ones hosting. When me or Smeth are trying to talk and we're trying to like get like something a little bit more.
And if you
organized
disagree
here,
with us, you might
let us
shut the
know.
fuck
We
up.
will- yeah, that's what we will do. Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
Please, yeah, that's all. Okay.
I have one request.
Sure. Yeah. What's the request? Yeah.
Because people have the perception that I'm like the person that was like a bully of Food Shops because of Tom Fuller.
Yeah, I do have that perception.
Yeah, well, remember because of this press leaks where Tom Fuller admitted that.
Whatever it
He
is.
was- Can I just say, like, I'm sorry to Food Shops publicly
Of course you can.
on stream?
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just
I'm
did.
not. I'm not in charge of what you fucking say to food shops.
Well,
I'm
I
just
mean,
saying.
Yeah. No,
Make sure
I don't
everything's
want. I don't
organized.
want to hear. I don't
Yeah.
want to hear your stupid apology to food shop. So I'm gonna say no.
Fuck you. Well, you know I love you, Smith.
I swear, I appreciate people apologizing and admitting when they're wrong, though. So I do respect that.
Alright.
Don't do it again, then.
Yeah,
I'm-
unless you do it again.
Okay.
But I'm gonna be extra mean to Brianna fucking Wu.
Okay. Until food shops gets
deal.
here, can we talk about the video now? Can we?
Yes.
Can we focus? Okay. Thank you. God damn.
Abilities of employment extremely limited.
So not every
That's a
sex
fair
offender has
position.
to announce themselves to their neighbors and community.
Great.
So he actually
Okay.
wouldn't have to do that. Do I think that every time a woman Googles his name that she should see that? Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Very cool. Thank you for coming on and sharing your guys' opinion on how much punishment Destiny deserves.
That's what the whole
Very
fucking
nice.
thing is that we're
Well,
supposed to be
I mean-
doing. What are we not supposed to be talking about how much punishment he deserves? That's the whole point of fucking talking about it. If the only thing you want to do is fucking downplaying it and talk about how sad you are for Destiny, how, like
Yeah.
what the fuck? Ah!
Notice. It's like the same thing that Erudites upset with, like, are like showing like genuine concern about, like in terms of defending Steven, and it's something Steven's upset with. The word punishment. It's very clear. It's so clear. It's never been more clear. Connor is bought and paid for. This man is not to be trusted.
You
It's
haven't
not
given any
conservative.
opinions, so
No, I've given you quite a bit of opinions. As a matter of fact, you've
yeah,
gotten fucking
you've
ass mad
dodged
about a few of
reasoning.
them.
You've dodged giving any basis for them repeatedly. Every time.
Queeman, please ask me a direct question and I will give you a direct answer.
Yeah. Do you think Destiny's a sexual predator?
I already said no.
Okay. Why? When you said that if you get up to like 6 or like a dozen people, why is that the marker? But Destiny with 5, you can't start to make that determination.
I just smelled my own socks. I took my own socks
Because
off and smelled it, and then you saw it on camera.
According to
I wanted to know how
Wow,
stinky.
that's
I wanted.
such
I-
great info.
I
Smith.
wanted to
I love
know-
the contribution.
I wanted to know how stinky they were.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw them now into my.
All right,
Bullseye,
we
right,
got food
right
shops
in
here.
there.
Okay.
Swish right in
Gonna
the
bring
middle of
her
the
in.
hamper. They weren't that stinky.
Damn. Food shops is here. Welcome, food shops.
No food shops.
Wow. Hello.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Pops, what's up?
I am tired and suffering from allergies.
That's very bad.
Can I start by asking you why did you delete your channel? I'm just curious.
See, that's the funny part. I thought it wouldn't be deleted. I thought it would just be hidden.
Oh my
So-
god.
You pulled a Zonia.
Yeah, I guess so. But like when I realized that I have to start over from 0, I was like, you know what? I don't really care all that much. I just I don't know if I give much of a fuck.
Wait, how'd you get membership so quickly?
Because so it's bugged. The YouTube system is bugged. So what happens is that once you put a channel on Sleeper, you lose all your subscribers, but you keep your membership. And you keep all the people who already became a member before you turn the channel off. So it's really scuffed. It's like really scuffed. It makes no sense.
How do you feel about this Destiny controversy? I haven't watched your videos yet.
They're all actually pretty good, by the way, food shops.
It's I mean like I'm like
We should do a stream sometime, food shops. It's nice to see you. It's nice to see you're
Yeah.
alive.
I'm not live.
You're alive.
You got Emery, but
I want to go talk to Moreau.
Oh
You'll
Jesus!
talk to Moreau then.
All right, okay. So I want to, but another time I want to talk to food shop. I want to do a call with food shop sometime. All right.
Awesome.
Wow.
Thank you for being on, Smeth. I appreciate your
All right.
your company.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, of course.
bye, Smith.
Bye
Bye,
bye.
food shops. All right. Ready. All right, Moreau. I want to see what he wants to talk to me. I want to see what the fuck do you have to say, Moreau. I want to know.
All right, Smeth.
Yeah.
This is
Who was that?
Surely he'll come back. Surely he'll come back. Surely there he is. Okay. So this is my friend. I'm gonna introduce him as Wintrius. If he wants to go by something else, he can. But he has a lot of thoughts about Mr. Girl, and you also have a lot of thoughts about Mr. Girl. So I think in my mind's eye, and he's like, okay. I think if he's able to fucking talk, this could be a very interesting conversation.
He says audio stopped
I don't want you to like.
working.
Yeah, we'll give him a second. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's actually the reason I found out about Mr. Girl. Did you know that? You wouldn't know that.
I didn't know
why
that.
I asked you.
I did know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's pretty illiterate.
I have my audio set up so I hear a big loud beep every time that happens because I don't expect to be in these group calls where people like go in and out. So like if you're having a one-on-one call with somebody, it's like nice for the chat and the audience to hear when somebody leaves and enters. But when you have like a bunch of retards in like group calls and shit, it's so fucking annoying. And I was not like I have it set up for a cinematic experience. So when somebody rage quits or whatever, then you hear boom and it fuck. Yeah. So yeah, what does he have to say about? Okay, I'll have to learn from him. I don't know what he thinks. I'm gonna be talking.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna be talking to tomorrow a former DGGer who wants to leave the cult, and next Saturday I'm gonna be talking to CounterPoints.
I want to hear you talk to CounterPoints.
Yeah,
I
me
hope
too.
you rape him.
I will rape him.
I don't know if you can. I don't know if you have the capacity to rape him, but I do want to see you try.
Absolutely do. It's
I'm gonna
so-
watch that. I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah.
He's having some troubles. Jesus.
I ditched food shops for this. I want you to know.
You were talking to food shops?
I was talking to food shops, and I ditched food shops for this.
I told you to let me know when you were finished. I didn't want you to stop in the middle of this. This is way less interesting than that.
No, I think I told food shops we'll talk another time, but this was
Okay.
this was like a group call with like 5 people, and food shops joined, so it wasn't like me just talking to food shops. So. Winter. What is his name? What does he go by?
Wintrius.
Wintrius. He says audio no longer works on my device. Was this guy carrying a nuke? Fuck.
Yeah. This is turning out to be abysmal. What do you think about food shops? What did you talk to them about? Was it interesting?
No, I just said hello basically. We were going over the Connor versus Lav and Queeman. It was wonderful. It was glorious.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm ready to totally rape.
Okay. What do you think about CounterPoints and what he's doing in regards to the new Destiny stuff? Because to me, it feels like he's severely downplaying it with his wording.
You know, he's saying like either people deserve to be killed for being rapists and pedophiles, or you should do nothing. And there's nothing you should do. And the people that get involved with him should not be notified, but also they should know better because he's a gooner. And also he's 85% responsible, but we're only going to focus on the 15% that is like the other like fucking people's like blame, the victim's fault. I think that he doesn't want to talk shit about a powerful figure that he has ties with because Brianna Wu is so also he said that he wouldn't want to talk to me, and I'm glad that he will. So maybe he's not totally like diseased yet, but I think it's because he's got a brain worm in him that's Brianna Wu, and I think like so the Brianna Wu mentality is somebody's really powerful, you're always nice to them, you always downplay everything bad because that's like how she is. Like she at the beginning of that stream, Brianna Wu said, "Oh, I'm good. I'm friends with Cherry." She's not good friends with Cherry. They fucking hate each other. Cherry hates Brianna Wu. She's just lying. I'm friends with all these people. No, you're not.
Yeah.
And because I am Mr. Girl's son, that makes me less of a tasty, thing, and so then it's easier to just be like, oh, fuck that guy, whatever. So anyway, yeah, so that's I think that because Destiny has very powerful, its CounterPoints is less able to speak to power, and he's Brianna Wooified.
Wintrius, is your audio working?
Smeth, you have such a powerful effect that the moment I joined the call, all my audio on my computer completely shut down and my headphones stopped working. I don't know what power you hold, but that was incredible. They should sign you up for like what's the Marvel League? Oh, the Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
that was incredible. I don't know what you did right there, but that was great.
Yeah.
What are you guys talking about? What's happening? I heard Brianna Wu. I heard.
I want to know what you have to say. I want to know what you have to say about Mr. Girl. Why you want? What's your thing? What is your thing? What is your thing?
Listen, so I'm not as informed on Mr. Girl as you are, but from what I've gleaned, he does seem like a bit of a creep, or at the very least normalizes things that are probably not good to normalize.
Like
he
what? Can you give
seems
an
a little
example?
emotionally manipulative.
Can you give an example?
Yeah, so, well, I don't like the fact that he's, like, open about feeling sexual attraction towards, like, underdeveloped prepubescent girls. I don't think that's something anyone should openly express
But
because
they
you're
can feel it, but
normalizing
they
it if
just.
you.
I think that okay. Well, then why don't you just talk to me and let's not talk about Mr. Girl. I think that you and everyone else is sexually attracted to underage girls.
I don't think that's true, and the reason why is because your brain is wired to be attracted to secondary sex characteristics,
Yes.
most of which are
Wait, you
things
say
that people get in
prepubescent?
post-puberty, right?
No.
Yes.
Mr. Girl, neither Mr. Girl nor me has said that most people, Mr. Girl has not said that he is attracted to prepubescent girls ever, and neither have I, and I don't think most people are. I do think that people, basically.
Were you call the girls in the movie? Wait, were you call the girls in the movie cuties prepubescent?
No, they were 12 and 13. So they had secondary sex characteristics, and then Mr. Girl's, in a paraphrasing of his words, if you film it right and you accentuate the right things, you can make it look more sexual to people and appealing, and that was the point of the movie.
I don't know, dude. I still think that this is I would still classify them as prepubescent insofar as
But
they
they weren't.
haven't gone through like enough of puberty to the point where they have like, and I know this is weird to say, but if someone hasn't fully developed their secondary, or not even fully, but like mostly developed their secondary sex characteristics, then
I'm gonna agree.
safely say
I'm gonna agree with
this
you.
person is more prepubescent.
I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna say that 13-year-olds are not as hot as 17-year-olds. They're just not. They're not as developed. They're a little bit too
right. Yeah.
But they're a little bit more. They're definitely more hot than an 8-year-old. And if you film it right, then you can like if you accentuate them twerking with their asses out, then you can start to get a little tingle there. And that's the point of the movie is to make that apparent and make you uncomfortable with the fact that we are sexualizing young girls. That's the point of the movie.
Do you think that it is also understandable to have the perspective here that you probably shouldn't be normalizing, hey, I'm okay with the fact that or not even okay with, I just expressing that you felt a certain way while watching it opens the gates for other people to do the same thing?
Why is that bad?
That's bad because you could have more pervasive people admitting to their attraction to underdeveloped people, and therefore more people doing it because it creates an air of acceptability in a certain community.
Doing what?
More people being willing to cross that taboo.
I think that more people should be willing to admit these things. Yes.
I'm not even saying admit it. I'm saying if you admit it enough times, you're probably going to get more people who do it.
Do what? What is do what? Like rape kids?
Do it as in go out of their way to consume that content, right? I'm being intentionally vague and not explicit in my wording,
right?
But I think my implications are like kind of clear what I'm saying here, right?
No,
like people are going to no. Okay, I am saying that if somebody is yes. Oh, sure. Yeah, my roommate told me I'm talking loud. So listen, I'm telling you that
sucks.
If somebody what?
That sucks. You move like out of your parents' house, and then you get like a roommate that's like gonna like barge in your room and tell you you're too loud. That sucks.
No, it's fine. It's fine. He's great. Listen, I think it's a little weird for somebody to be able to admit that they're okay with being attracted to these people, because it not only opens the floodgates for other people to do it, but in doing that, you normalize it for more people to get interested in it in the first place.
I think that
I almost guarantee that.
I think that the interest is innate, and you're saying that it's
I don't think
I don't think the point of anything that Max has said or me, because we have a similar view on this, is that it's not that it's. I don't think that it's that people have to be okay with their attraction to minors. I think that people have to admit it, and it doesn't mean you have to be okay with it.
I don't know. Here's the problem. I've realized recently that the effect of admitting things or even talking about your problems is a lot more complicated than just like, oh, if you talk about it and are honest about it, like we can help. That's not actually how problems usually work. Like a good example of this would probably be like incel communities. Like if an incel tells you all their problems, if an incel vents about all their problems, like that's probably actually going to be harmful to them because
they're
it's going to
they're not honest
normalize
about
it for.
Incels are scapegoating women.
Sure.
Like the thing about
No,
incels
so
the
listen,
thing about incels is
I
that they're
agree
not
that occurs,
honest
yeah.
about it. So I think that actually being honest about it is actually going to be a cure for incels. They're going to have to
Well,
be
no.
because so incels are they're in a system where they feel like that women are, you know, like have all these privileges, and they feel like beaten down, and they feel worthless. And I think that they are actually making themselves more worthless, and they are part of their own problem, and that is what they have to be honest about. Them, like it's like what you're saying, the thing that they're quote unquote being honest about. It's like a neo-Nazi like saying, well, like I'm just being honest about what's really happening with like the Jews or conspiracy theory. But no, that's that's not truly what's happening. That's not truly what's happening. If a neo-Nazi is going to start being honest, what they're going to have to start talking about is their own like feelings and where they come from, and that is healing.
Smeth, you didn't let me finish my point. My point is not saying that what incels prescribe as being the source of their problems is the source of their problems, because I agree with you. I agree with you completely.
Prescribed isn't the right word.
So,
you're obfuscating again. You're like so.
No, wait. Hold on.
No, I need you to clarify that statement. So incels.
Okay.
So our incels.
I haven't even made my statement fully yet, but yes, go ahead.
You can't say that they prescribe the source of their problem. Prescription is what you do for a solution to the problems. What they're mispointing at, they're identifying the wrong problems. Is that what you're saying?
Sure. Yes.
Okay, so if they're identifying the wrong problems, then they're not being honest with themselves.
But that's not what I'm talking. So listen. I'm not. I agree that they're identifying the wrong problems. That's not. I didn't say that they were identifying the right problems ever. So this is not why I brought it up. You didn't let me finish my point.
But you brought it. Yes, it is why you brought it up.
I haven't even started my point. No, I haven't even started my point yet.
It is why you brought it up.
You didn't let me finish. Just let me finish. Okay, so imagine
I'm
imagining a thought in my head.
Oh my god!
Dude, you haven't even let me speak yet. I haven't even
Allow
started
him.
delivering my point.
Allow him.
Oh my goodness!
So I have to let him build shit upon shit upon shit, and then I have to
I said the word
incel.
Listen.
Maybe he's going somewhere.
Listen, Smeth, I said the word incel and you went into a tirade. You didn't even let me begin my point.
You said the point you were making.
He didn't go into a tirade. He went into a beautiful speech. Wintrius,
the point you were talking about why it's bad to be. You were talking about why it's bad to be honest about things because it can cause harm, and so you brought up incels. So so they are not being honest about things. So bad example. Move to a different one.
Wait. Okay. In this particular situation, so I'm just going to say the descriptive. So an incel says that they're upset, right? Baseline, honest statement. They are upset about the fact that they can't get women. Fine. Okay, sure. So you have enough people in a community at a certain point, and they all say, I am upset that I can't get a woman, right? More and more people are saying it. Well, suddenly that community is going to go into the diagnosis stage, right? That community is going to go into the stage of like, okay, what do we do as a result of the fact that we all feel this way, right? And usually for incels, that leads to like a really, really bad place. I think if you have enough people who are willing to admit the descriptive of like, oh, I have this problem where I'm attracted to this. If you have enough people who you get them in a room and you're willing to have all those people admit it, I think eventually you're going to have negative consequences of it. I don't think you should allow people
as I predicted.
To, like,
you're making the same stupid fucking point that I said you were making. Okay, so incels are admitting one thing, which is good, that they're admitting that they are having trouble meeting women, and that them admitting that does not mean that they're gonna start doing all this incel, like lashing out or killing people, whatever the fuck you're gonna say. There's tons of people that admit that or talk about their feelings about being frustrated, unable to find women. There's tons of men that have that and go into completely different outlets, and a lot of them go into bad ones too. A lot of them go into red pill. There's a lot of different people who want to make a buck off of that problem because it's a very common problem. But just admitting the problem is the first step. So if you are having problems meeting women, you have to admit that if you want to get better at meeting women. And just because because you can go in a bad direction. So admitting that you are attracted to a minor doesn't mean that you have to have sex with a minor. In fact, it makes you less likely to abuse if you can admit these things.
Well, I guess the thing that really determines here is the sense of community. So with incels, of course, it's a possessive ideology, right? Same with like manosphere stuff, Andrew Tate. It's a possessive ideology, and this is the reason
But
why
the community
people
is
feel
the
geared towards a certain
prescription.
way.
The
But
community is the
well, yes,
prescription.
yes, yes.
It's
So
not the
I
admission of
agree,
their
but
feelings. It's not
my
the admission
worry
of their
is
feelings that makes it them being incels. The thing
sure,
that makes them
sure.
incels is the
No,
prescription.
I agree. Yes, I
But you were
agree.
talking
My
about
problem
why it's
is
bad to admit your feelings.
if you get enough people who
To
admit
admit
these feelings in one place,
to
I
admit
don't
that they're
know
having
where
troubles
that
meeting women.
group is going to go. No, okay. So the way these communities spawn to begin with, right, is the fact that all these people have convened, and perhaps all it takes is like a few people to say, "Oh, I think this is the real problem," right? So you have enough people who admit the pedophilia problem, right? And what if they find someone like Amos Yee, who's like, you know what? It's actually okay that you feel that way, and there's like it's perfectly healthy, this and this and this. So now you've led these people, okay, they've gone the first stage of admitting, and now they're susceptible to these other communities that could grab them or have any problems with them, whatever. So I think it's okay to generally admit that you have a problem, but
Yeah,
I
admitting.
also
Okay.
think you
Okay,
can
so
be
yes.
opening floodgates to having bad communities if you're really not careful in the way that you
Okay.
present your thoughts.
Okay.
I don't think
Okay.
Mr.
I
Girl
think
was very
I think
careful in
you're
the
a
way that he worded his
I don't agree with that. I think he's incredibly careful. But what I do actually agree with you. But what you have a problem with is vulnerability. And I think that when people are vulnerable, it makes them susceptible to predacious ideologies and groups. Just like people who are being vulnerable about their feelings about women and everything get sucked into predatory groups that want to take advantage of them, like Red Pill, or people that want to sell them fucking courses on how to manipulate women, or fucking incel shit, and they get sucked into cults. People who are vulnerable are susceptible to these types of things. But also, I think
Sure.
that to be able to grow on a personal level, you have to be vulnerable. And just because there are predatory like ideologies and stuff, like if you want people to be vulnerable, so that you literally have to be vulnerable to grow. The other ideology you can have is you can try to repress everything and try to truck through life without growth, and a lot of people do that.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I completely understand, and I don't find any problem with what you just said. My specific disagreement here, I suppose, is I don't think that the way you said it was very careful, the way Mr. Girl worded it. The reason why I don't think that was the case is because the reaction that the internet got from this, I think, is pretty telling of how
Hold on,
poor his
Winters.
presentation was.
I want to step
And
in there.
I think
That's
there
not
can be a
necessarily the
degree
case.
of
That's not the case.
yeah.
No. People were upset because Mr. Girl was saying something controversial, even if it's true. It's like saying being a pedophile isn't bad. Like, yeah, being a pedophile isn't bad, but if you say that, people are gonna kind of freak out because they think it like is super insane to say.
Yeah, that makes him look bad, but that doesn't make other people like do harm or anything. That just makes people more skeptical about him, which is good.
So okay, I think that's okay. And I agree with your statement, Brown. But my worry is, and to connect this back to my point before, if someone sees the clip of Mr. Girl saying, like, oh, I liked it in his cadence as he does, right? They see that clip. Maybe they don't even watch the full video. Maybe there's some people out there and they understand this kind of somewhat provocative tone he's speaking in, and they immediately interpret that as some kind of sense of empowerment for the way that they feel. That's my worry.
You should be
I don't want
empowered.
people to feel empowered about
Right.
the way that they
I do think
their attraction.
I think they should.
You think they should be empowered for being attracted to prepubescent
No,
girls?
that's not. First of all, that's no. They are the girls and cuties are 12 and 13. So wrong. No, but I think that
Okay.
people should be empowered to talk about how they feel. Yes.
I don't know. I kind of disagree.
Some people, vast minority, very, very small amount of people are attracted to like that are exclusively attracted to minors. I think the majority has some very small attraction that increases the more sexually mature somebody becomes. And these are things that we have to be honest about if we want to protect minors. And also, I don't think that it's useful for us I don't think the solution is to shame people and make people afraid to be honest about these things. I think the solution is to actually put protections in place in society that actually protect minors, and the sweeping it under the rug, it's basically the same as don't ask, don't tell. I don't think that actually solves the problem, and I just think it's a bad, archaic, caveman, dipshit solution.
I understand why you're coming from that perspective. I tend to be of the mentality of people should be selective with their words, and the words that people choose to say tend to have a lot of repercussion and meaning. And as a result, that's just more reason why you should be very careful with the way in which you say things and what you choose to say. And specifically in this case, these are things that I don't see like any positive results from this. All I can imagine, and I know that I don't have like data on this, so it's pretty difficult to prove. But let me ask you this: do you think pedophilia? Do you think there are people who are just naturally pedophiles?
Naturally, no. I think it's probably because of childhood trauma and abuse.
Okay, I would agree. I would agree completely. Yeah, my problem is because it's largely a nurture thing from my assumption, from whatever I've read, which could be even more extensive. I'm not sure that telling someone that this aspect that's like completely based in nurture, that like validating those feelings is going to be conducive to positive outcomes. In fact, I think if someone doesn't recognize those feelings, they might actually go away. Like I think sexuality is one of those things where nurture plays a pretty big role. Nurture plays a really, really big role, and your mindset also plays a pretty big role.
Yeah, you're saying that part of nurture is your willingness to admit. So you're saying part of your own nurture, your own nurturing environment is once you admit something to other people, that as a mirror effect, and that's part of how you are nurtured.
Well, yeah. So think of like self-fulfilling prophecy. So, for example, let's say I take an IQ test and I get like an 80, and I start acting like significantly different than how I normally act because I have this idea of like how I'm supposed to act in conformance to the self-fulfilling prophecy. I think that happens with like almost everything with humans. You could apply this to so many things, and I think sexuality is easily one of them. Sexuality labels, you see people do this stuff all the time, and I would guarantee that a large portion of this is attempting to
I think
have
I'm
some
against,
sort of self-fulfilling prophecy.
I'm completely against sexuality labels, and so when I think that people should admit these things, and also I don't think people should be changed to these things. For instance, I have gay thoughts once in a while, but mostly I don't, and I don't think that should make me define myself as bi or gay. Just like I don't think that if someone has a fleeting thought about a minor, that makes them a pedophile. And I think that is a lot more common than we like to admit. And admitting that makes it much more easy for us to actually protect minors, because we need to do things like make it so we don't have like Discord where minors can easily and freely interact with like adults and like the content creators that they look up to. And I think that companies that allow these things are doing a massive disservice to children and minors, and we need to admit that these things, it's like you don't like, so with the Smash community, remember there was like all the instances of like older people having sex with minors in the Smash community for some period of time. It's because they would go they would go to these tournaments and they'd be boarding in the same rooms, and so you'd have like 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds alone in private with like 14-year-olds and shit and 15-year-olds. And I mean, my attitude is like, yeah, that absolutely should not be happening. We need to protect them from that happening, but also don't let them be alone together, because they're gonna fuck, and we know they're gonna fuck. That's what's gonna happen. And so we have to know that. You have to first admit that.
Well, I see. Can you see perceivably a world where this does become a self-fulfilling prophecy, where if you acknowledge, like, rather than letting those passing thoughts go by of like, oh, this is attractive, whatever, rather than letting those passing thoughts go by, recognizing them might lead to more thinking about them and more
No.
recognition of them.
No.
You don't think so?
No. I think that we need to have a culture where we don't shackle people to, so we can admit them, and we also don't shackle people to them. So the way that our culture is around sexuality, when you're talking about them, we like to define you as that, but like there's like you need your uncle be like, oh, that's just a passing that doesn't make you like a pedophile, or that doesn't make you gay. That's just a thought. You like that attitude is just as possible as an overall zeitgeist culture, and that's the culture that we need to have a healthy attitude about sexuality.
Sure, I like your situation that you've set up here of the uncle saying like, all right, no, you're not this because that's a passing thought.
Yes.
I agree. So and we agree that that's a good thing if someone does admit this. It's a good thing to have someone who's like a voice of reason to be able to say, hey, you know what? Don't go down this path, whatever.
That should be the overall
Here's my
culture.
problem. I think there's, when you have this path, you also have, like I said in the incel analogy, you have like the manosphere equivalent here. You're gonna have like the Amos Yee as the manosphere equivalent of like the dark side, right? So if someone admits to these feelings, suddenly they have like a whole community open to them now.
It's just
and my problem is that I think the net effect of Mr. Girl saying this in his video is, and listen, I don't have stats on this, so this is totally unproven and maybe not worth discussing too much. But my guess would be that this would be more empowering to the feelings of pedophiles, right? And make them feel like they want to be pedophiles more than anything.
Okay. I don't necessarily agree with the stats and everything, but like, I think that it might open the door. Maybe it would, but I don't think it matters. I think what matters to protect minors is to actually create systems that I don't think we should have adults and minors intermingling nearly as much as we do. So like before the internet, like it was a lot easier to do that, and now it's a way harder. And that is
absolutely,
that's the tech.
Absolutely.
I think the way to solve that. So the way that we are culturally going about solving that is, and I mean, you're like, what you're saying is part of that, and it has some effectiveness of trying to like quarantine these things and not let communities develop and stuff like that. But really, I think communities can develop as long as we don't let these bubbles touch.
The reason why I'm so hesitant is because I think there's like an automatic thing that happens when you begin admitting to these feelings, that you get these like the communities on both sides will just instantly arise. And I'm like wondering, is it worth having these communities to begin with? Like, is it worth having the group? Like, would I sacrifice the uncle who's, you know what, it's okay for you to have these feelings if that means that the Amos Yee types aren't going to be there?
I just think that that's the negative of free speech, and I think, and I'm very pro free speech. I think that that's the only way that we can actually like move forward, even though there will be these like groups that I don't think you can force people. Like I think that we need to be open about these things to move forward into utopia, and there will be groups of people like predatory groups of people, Amos Yee, people trying to take advantage of narratives or take advantage of people's vulnerability. But I just think that that is a byproduct of free speech, and when we have to so as a result of that, what you're saying is kind of true. In this system where I'm talking about, you have to fight it. So that means that Mr. Girl or me is responsible for combating that.
Well, I don't know. Thinking of this hypothetical has me wondering, because I would say right now in society, this is a very unacceptable thing to even bring up. But I'm not gonna lie, is it better off the way it is now? It probably is.
Do you think that
it's probably the way it is now?
How do you feel about the group virtuous pedophiles?
I have never heard of them, and I am glad I have never heard of them.
It's basically a support group, and a group that gives
I
people
see.
it's people who are pedophilic, and they're saying that's their primary attraction, and they want to admit it and get help and talk to each other.
I see.
How do you feel about
What
that?
do you think about, you mentioned free speech earlier, and I really have to say, and this has just been the conclusion I arrived at over a long period of time. I think free speech is kind of overrated. I get it. I know why people love free speech, but free speech isn't like a virtue. Like people think free speech is a virtue. People think freedom is a virtue. People think all these things are like virtuous. People think democracy is a virtue. These are structures and institutions we build to serve virtues, not virtues unto themselves. So if someone is doing something bad, let's say if I'm in a government position, right, and someone's doing something terrible, like spreading a terrible community, or there's something that I could say that would make more people conducive to being in bad communities, or that's conducive to more people being in bad communities than not, then it's probably better to not have that speech out there.
I don't know. I just
It
disagree.
probably is better. I would guess that
I
in a utilitarian sense, there's probably a case where it's better for someone to have not said something than for them to have said something in terms of moral consequence. It's difficult to draw that line, and that's the reason why free speech is probably a good law.
I think it's
but I
hard.
can see arguments against it.
I can definitely see arguments against it, but I think it's hard to make tangible the benefits of something, because I think that the benefits of free speech is a laundry list of lack of negatives, and while it does come with a bunch of negatives itself, I think that the suppression of human thought and creativity and vulnerability. I think that these things are very have very wide impacts on people in ways that are very hard to identify clearly in a conversation like this.
Yes and no. I think so. Yes, I think that is definitely the case. One thing I will say though is I think we have created, and not, we is a very broad pronoun to use in this context, but I'll use it anyway. We, as in cultural Westerners, American, I think we've created this kind of space where it's so soft that like what we expect men to do with their emotions is now like a little over the line. I do think there is a point where people should kind of man up. And I don't mean like, oh, you shouldn't express any emotion at all, but there is like a point where it's like, get a hold of it. You should have your problems on top. You should try to be a moral example for the rest of the world. Like you should have this weight on your shoulders. You should try to demonstrate virtue in like every sense of the word.
Right.
I don't think it's demonstrating virtue. There's some vulnerabilities that I don't think you should admit as a man because it's demonstrating a bad example for other people.
I don't agree. I don't agree with that. I do think that there are boundaries you have to have, and you shouldn't just be in a completely a bleeding heart no matter what, no matter where you are. Like being like an artist or being like a provocateur is a specific context, but like being like in line at a grocery store is context where you shouldn't. And you should man up, put your fucking bananas on the conveyor belt, and like don't tell me about your dog that just died. Just not the time. Shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like,
right. That is it. I like that example actually. That's quite nice.
But like being an artist or provocateur is a time when I think it's good.
Sure. Okay. I think you could probably find a case where it's okay. I think, and listen, I'm not naive enough to think like, oh yeah, most men right now, if I tell them to man up, are just gonna do it. Like, I know that's not how that works. I think, manning up in the term how it's traditionally viewed, right? Being stoic, stone cold, right? That's more of a result of parenting. I think that's especially a result of having a good father figure. If you have a good father figure, that father figure is probably going to kind of teach you how to handle your emotions well as a man. and not show certain vulnerabilities at a certain point in your life, or at the very least, just demonstrating to you, hey, you have an example to set for people like I have set an example for you. That is like the ideal. That's what a father should do. Like,
Well,
and I think as men, once you
just-
reach adulthood, you're a father for like other people in society. Like you are generally a father of your community once
yeah,
you reach a certain age.
I agree, but like I just feel like it's context. Like I do think that fathers or parents have to have boundaries with their kids where they are not burdening their kids with their emotions. But
Right.
I think that you absolutely do need to be able to burden people with your emotions, but you do need to have a healthy understanding of healthy understanding of boundaries. Because so what I think that you might not be like grasping about Mr. Girl or me. I want to say me or Mr. Girl is okay. I hate that I have to like do this. Okay, you know.
Do it just for me.
The
Just for me.
the philosophy that you are going against has a very strongly ingrained importance of boundaries. So a father should not be burdening his kids with his emotions, but that's not a complete across the board. For instance, in your art is where you burden everyone with your emotions. That's what's good about art. That's what makes art good.
No, you know what? I completely agree. 100%. And storytelling. Storytelling is best when it is expressing human emotion. I completely 100% agree with
Or maybe
you.
your wife.
But
your wife, or you know, like
Yeah.
your significant other, depending on what kind of relationship you have. My ideal relationship is like a lot of fighting. So so I feel like we're like, and in my ideal relationship, there's a lot of burdening each other.
why?
Why?
Can I ask you why, Smith?
Because I feel like it's just less lonely. I feel like I feel like in a good relationship, you take turns with that parental thing. You take turns sucking up your own emotions to take care of the other, and like you keep swapping. So like sometimes because I think that heterosexual relationships are kind of like you are simulating the parent for the other, and so like you're connected to your mother, and your husband, your father's psychologically connected to your father, and in that way you can be each other's father and mother sometimes, and you can kind of let go and be the child sometimes, but it can't be all the time, and so you have to go back and forth, and that's why it's like a fighting. And so that vulnerability has, I think, a lot of positives. It can help you heal and grow and give you something to lean on, but it also comes with negatives because it means a lot of conflict.
Smith, by the way, your name sounds like meth. I don't know if that's intentional, but listen, meth. That I have a grin on my face listening to this. I find this very interesting. I like hearing your perspective here because I've never heard this perspective. That is incredibly unique, and that's something for my brain to chew on. However, my perspective is a lot more simple. And you know what? Listen, I'll say it. I'm a guy who prefers simplicity. I think there's some traditional like role value that's like kind of okay. And no, I'm not saying like, oh, women need to, women can do whatever role wise in terms of like jobs or whatever. That's not what I'm saying. But in terms of emotion and how people express emotion in a relationship, I think there's like kind of predetermined roles of how people should act and what is like evolutionarily the best way you should act if you are a husband or a wife, right? Ideally, if I'm a husband, I'm probably going to be putting myself in a position where my wife isn't going to like utterly disrespect me. Like I don't want her to see me in a position so vulnerable at such a continued amount of times that she loses respect for me, because then you lose your ethos as a man. And as a man, your ethos is incredibly important.
Right. I think that I think that I've learned this. I think that you are attached to a certain I think that I can be sexy while I'm vulnerable. I can be a sexy little baby crying. I mean, but I learned that because I'm an artist. So
what do you make? Do you paint?
I went to school for painting, but I mean, I've been doing my streams. I've been doing my streams and making videos, but I haven't painted in a while. I have a commission to do a charcoal of someone's dead cat right now that I have to do it. I dread doing it.
Dude, can you send me your art? I also do art. I'm a big art fan.
My
I mean, you
YouTube,
don't
my
have to.
YouTube
You
I
don't
think
have
the
to.
art that he does is not something you're going to be into, Wintrius.
Oh, I
Smeth,
see. Never
listen,
mind. I'm like an art
I'm being a
elitist.
good media. I'm going to make some more conversation. Smeth, Wintrius is Christian. What do you think of that?
I mean, I'm not atheist.
You're not atheist.
I am an atheist.
You are an atheist.
Yes.
Why are you an atheist?
Because I don't believe in God.
Why don't you believe in God?
I think it's stupid.
You think it's stupid. You think Wintrius is stupid for believing in God.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Why?
Because I think that believing in I was arguing about this yesterday. Honestly, I think that this is not a. I've been streaming for a while. It's getting late for me. Okay, you're starting a whole new dialogue path. I know that this was sort of fresh for you. But
Okay, we don't have to go. It's okay.
But look,
it's okay.
I think that I'm gonna die. Okay, and I think that religion and faith in these things like God and stuff. I think that there's psychological reasons that we're drawn to these things, and one of the main ones is fear of death. And I think to actually be able to confront the fact that you're going to die is really I think if you are to confront the fact that you're going to die, it makes life a lot more meaningful, and I think that religion makes life a lot less meaningful and makes you less in touch with reality.
I don't know. I would personally disagree with this perspective because, well, religion often encompasses one of two things. Well, not one of two things. It often encompasses two things. So you have the undergirding philosophy and then the implication of the supernatural, or it's not an implication, it is often explicit. So you have the description of the supernatural in tandem with the philosophy, right? So the case I always make for Christianity, right, is of all the philosophy that I've read, I've read a lot of Greek philosophy, and there's a lot of problems with almost all Greek philosophy. I have so many problems with it when I read it almost all the time. I'm like, this is wrong, this doesn't make any sense. When I read the Gospels, I don't find those problems. Right? I think it's a very ironclad philosophy. I think the philosophy of Christ is like very, very, very good.
It certainly is written in a more loose way too. But I agree. I really relate to the philosophies of Christianity pretty strongly.
But as a result, I think the philosophy has been so important in my life to the point where I am willing to, well, okay, so let's say category one of the religion. Does the philosophy work for me? Absolutely. The philosophy works flawlessly in my life. I would say it's conducive to happiness in my life. Therefore, I find it valuable. Now, on the supernatural aspect,
your counterpoints.
Well,
this is what he thinks.
Oh, it does no way. Does he actually believe this, like verbatim?
He believes that he doesn't believe in religion, like all the spiritual.
Oh well, I was going to cover the supernatural side too. I've had some, and a lot of people say they've had like overt supernatural experiences. I've had more covert supernatural experiences,
Okay.
I suppose. Almost everything I've prayed for in my life has come true. Like almost everything. And every time I've given something and prayed, I have got something in return. It's a very interesting thing that's happened to me.
Well, to
Not only
me-
that, I had a friend who was, and I'm not gonna explain this story in depth because of the privacy of this friend. I had a friend who I've known for like my entire life. This guy was an atheist for literally as long as I knew him. And then he had um I don't want to describe it because I really don't think he'd want me talking about this on a live stream. But
He almost
had
died.
one of the craziest. No, he didn't.
Ooh.
But someone he knew was like dead. Right? They were like 100% going to die, and then he phased out. He had what would you call it? He's in the hospital waiting, and then he suddenly sees the emergency room, and he sees Jesus telling him, your close one here is going to live. And then they did. And he told me this story, and you know, he broke down in tears. It was incredible. It was I had never seen this guy cry in like 2 decades, right? Like it's or something around like 15 years or something. Like it had been a very long time since I'd seen that. And this guy, I mean, I could really tell he was telling me the truth. He saw this in like a vision he had when he was waiting um, in the hospital. I was like, wow, that is incredible. And guess what? The guy made a full recovery, like a miraculous recovery that subverted all medical odds. I was like, that is insane. I mean, I saw this guy get converted from atheism to Christianity in real time, and it really like put that into perspective for me. But I've seen so many things like that over the course of my life that I'm like, all right, on the spiritual side, philosophy side is the strongest, I would say. But on the spiritual side, I've seen a lot of things as well.
That
So
just
it
sort of
makes me
that
it makes
to
me
me that story
lean to
sort of
Christianity.
validates my perspective that religion and our attachment to it is often born of our fear of death, and it is a much better alternative to believe in the eternal soul and on all these things, or that there is a purpose for suffering, or that all these types of things, and that is very appealing to people, and to not
Well, I
have
mean, of
that.
course it deals with death. That's like the whole thing.
Right.
That's like the whole idea.
Because
So of course,
because I think that it's because we
Mm.
don't want to admit that we're actually just gonna die.
Well, I think something I notice is people will often say, "Oh, well, how come religious experience or religious things are either they'll say, okay, it's number one used for controlling populations, which number one, yes, it is used to control populations, and
That's not
that's
what I'm
good
saying.
actually. Well, no, well, I know that's not what you're saying, but
It's a
I'm going
different.
into 2 points
I
that
know
are
it's
that's facet two of so that's the philosophy side is saying like, oh, it's used to control populations, which I agree with and I think is good. Number two, the supernatural side, where people say, okay, well, the supernatural stuff it always happens when people are fearing death.
So what are you
So yes,
asking
I
me? You're
agree,
just
but
telling
also
me.
they're claiming.
You're just
Well,
telling me what you
I'm telling
think.
you that they are. Yes, it does have to do with death, and it does happen to people when they're fearing death. But that's the whole point. Like that's what
Yeah.
it is writing about. That's the reason why
Yes.
it happens at those times. Is
Because you don't want
okay?
to
You could say it's happening because people are scared of this. But if a miracle happens when you're scared of death, and the miracle pertains to death, and the religion is talking to you about death, well, now we're at a crossroads
Well, if you
because
die,
it could be one of the two, right?
well, if you die,
I mean, it's
then you die. But if you don't, then you live on and you're religious. So if you see God,
yeah.
He's like you're gonna live, then you're gonna be religious after that. Like I mean, like it would be so easy to convert people to Christianity or any religion really on their deathbed. You tell them that they have a soul and that they're basically not gonna die. It's about not dying.
Smeth, let's say you were shot in the head. Okay.
Yeah.
You die.
Yeah.
Seemingly to you, you die. You have a dream, and in this dream, you see Jesus, and he's like, "Hey, giving you a second shot. You better use it." And you wake up in the hospital. The bullet like grazed your brain a little bit, but it didn't do any damage. You survived, and you had that dream. Are you becoming a Christian, or are you just chalking it up to like just a funny dream?
I mean, I think personally, no. I think that I would think it was a hallucination. And
Yeah,
for
you're
me,
getting
What if you had like
people
multiple
hell.
dreams afterwards of
for
God
me,
trying to convince you that that was real?
For me, I'm so non-enmeshed with various religious imagery. For me, I don't believe it would be Jesus. I think that for me, what I would see would be something more strange, and more idiosyncratic, and that would be my deathbed vision. And it
Also,
wouldn't be correlate or map onto a religion. And I might draw a lot of meaning from that, and it might convince me of certain truths that I now believe about the world. But I think that those truths will be derived from a delusion.
well, one thing I will say though is in the story I told, for example, not only did this guy have a vision, but the vision came true. Like the vision literally happened. Like he was told, "Hey, this is going to happen," and then it happened, and it was something that was like 100% chance not going to happen. Like doctors tell him, hey, yeah, this was not going to happen. Like I was 100% sure this wasn't going to happen. Literally saying, hey, that was a miracle. And that's pretty wild.
Sometimes-
It's the combination of the two. It's
sometimes
not just the fact that he
miraculous
had
things
a religious
happen.
sighting, right?
Sometimes these things happen. Sometimes it's really great.
I don't know. When I see that, I go a little more towards the side of, especially considering all the buildup and everything around this situation. When I see it, I'm like, if that is a coincidence, that is one of the most incredible coincidences
I don't
have
think it is.
ever seen.
I think that you have someone very close to you. The chances of you having these like very like vivid like visions, it dramatically goes up. Like I think that it's
Does it?
Yeah. Yeah, in times
The
of
rate of having visions, I mean, there's probably like no stats
Yeah.
on that rate of visions going up when you're
yeah,
close
in
with people.
times
I don't know.
times of extreme stress and peril and mental break. You're having a mental break,
Yeah.
and you're like you have a you see a world in which the person doesn't die because they're on their deathbed, and you're horrified they're gonna die, and you're having a mental breakdown, and then you have a vision of a reality in which they don't die. For me, I believe that vision wouldn't map on to religious ideology or religious imagery because I'm such an idiosyncratic artistic way of engaging with the world. But I think for a lot of people it will include a lot of religious imagery, and that could happen, I'm sure, and it does happen to some people. And then when they don't die, then you feel like, oh wow, it really was Jesus came and saved us. But it really is a
Yeah, I mean,
common.
sure, I can understand, and obviously, I think everyone, when they hear a story like this, is somewhat incredulous and automatically opts for the secular explanation. I understand where the secular explanation is coming from, and I'm not even saying that it's an invalid perspective. I don't think it is a completely invalid perspective, but I think it is difficult to say that you can know with certainty one way or the other. At the end of the day, there is a lot of mystique in the universe. There's a lot that we don't know. Of course,
I just think that when
it's
you
okay
see
to say that it's okay for you to come to the conclusion that you've come to, but at the same time, when I see a situation like this, that is so incredibly moving and utterly
yes.
unlike anything else I've seen, well, to me, I mean, this is only something very recently too.
What
I'm like utterly baffled.
I think that what made the person live can be defined by things we can actually observe and understand. And
Right, but is what we observe and understand not also undergirded by, I mean, in theory, right, there could be some spiritual presence or whatever, right? You could tie
what
that into
I
religion
don't
in
think
some way.
I
Like
like
there's a
when you say spiritual, you're talking about things that aren't real. That's like what it's that
so
definition
for
really means.
example, well, I'll give you an example. I remember back when I did when I was taking Sunday school as like a kid, right, like CCD. I remember this woman who was teaching it, she told this one story of this guy during a flood, and he's sitting in his house, and he's like, I'm going to stay in my house because God is going to save me. And his family leaves, and they're like, all right, come with us, come with us. And he's like, nope, I'm staying here because God is going to save me. And then it floods, and
You
a
don't look
boat comes
bald anymore,
by.
Smeth. Oh my god.
What?
Yeah.
You don't look bald anymore.
And so it floods, and I'll wait till he puts his headphones
I
back
hear
on.
you.
It floods, and
It
a boat
floods.
comes by,
It
and the guy in
floods.
the guy in the boat says, "Come on my boat, I'll save you." And the guy in the house goes, "No, I'm staying here because God is going to save me." And once the house is almost completely sunk, a helicopter comes by and says, "You down there, please come up. We can save you."
He's
And
a
he says,
lucky
"No."
retard. That's
He's
what
like,
I
"No." He
say.
says, "No, God is going to save me." So the guy drowns, right? And when he gets to the gate of heaven in this tale, right? Peter is at the gate and he hits the guy over the head with the booklet of the names to heaven and says, "We sent you your family, a boat, and a helicopter, and you took none of them." So the point is, the moral of this story, and this very random thing that I heard that resonated with me quite a bit, was that divine prayer, anything else, often works in ways that are very grounded in
No,
reality and
yeah.
for
So
very real reasons.
to put it
Like,
to me, what that means is whatever good thing happens was God, and any bad thing that happens wasn't
no,
God.
no, 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 no. That's
No, the
not what
bad
that's
thing.
saying.
No, the bad thing. The drowning wasn't God. God wanted you to get the good thing, and whenever the good thing happens, it was
No,
God.
that's you're missing the point. The point is, so for example, you're missing the point. The point that you're missing is so let's use the prayer example, right? So I pray for something and I get what I pray
I
for.
don't miss the
right?
point. I'm just disagreeing with like how you observe it. Like,
Well, okay. Let me. There was an example. Like for example,
okay, I
Jim
have to
Carrey
go.
once.
I have to. I do like. I want to like. So
The
let's.
call's been going on for an hour. All right.
There is such a good
Wintrius,
example
me
of
and
this.
you.
Okay,
Such a good
listen,
example.
I'm not gonna. I'm
Wintrius.
not gonna just cut you off like one more. But I'm not. Let's.
Okay,
let's,
sure.
Sure.
I'll give the example. So to just demonstrate what I'm saying, Jim Carrey on a talk show host thing, whatever it's called, he once said that when he was a kid, he prayed for a bike and he gave up something in return, right? As a kid, because he really, really wanted this bike. And he woke up the next morning and his dad said, "Oh, a friend of mine gave this. I'm wording this wrong, whatever, but this you get the point. A friend of mine gave me this bike. He doesn't need it anymore. Or he's like, whatever. I just got this bike like out of complete coincidence. You know, this and this. He brings it to Jim Carrey, but Jim Carrey's dad about the prayer, and so he was amazed. He was like, the bike came to me in its own miraculous way, right? Some family happened to not need it, whatever. So it's real circumstances, but these real circumstances somehow play in to religious events, right? That's the whole point of what I'm
somehow.
attempting to say, right? This
Because the
is,
good,
but
whatever the good thing happens was because of like
that
God's
is
will and whatever the.
not what I am saying. It's
That's what
not
I'm
good thing
saying.
happen equals God, bad thing happen,
I
not
used to
God.
pray for
That's not,
Minecraft Xbox 360 updates when I was younger.
that's so based.
They never came. They never came.
Okay,
No,
I
it's,
was laying in
it's
bed
awesome.
after I played Minecraft on a weekend. Okay, and I would pray.
I got one more thing. Okay,
Yeah.
I got somebody sent me $5. They said, ask him what he would think about his friend if his friend had a vision of Buddha or Vishnu instead of Jesus.
I would kill my friend. I would murder him. No. Well, there's an interesting belief by Pope Francis, and Pope Francis's belief is that spirituality reaches different, or God reaches different cultures in different ways,
I
or
figured you would
in
say
ways
that.
that are best for each one of those cultures. Like, so, I mean, make of it what you will, right? But in
I
our
want to know what
culture,
you think, Wintrius.
well,
What would you
because
think? Your
okay,
friend saw Buddha and saw Jesus. What do you think?
I'm saying this.
saying
I'm
it's the
saying this
same
because
thing.
I'm somewhat lenient towards
He's saying it's the
the Pope
same.
Francis view in this matter. My point is that it wouldn't happen because Buddha isn't culturally ingrained for my friend, right? But if this happened to someone
Right.
in like a place in Asia where they don't know that much about Jesus, maybe it is Buddha.
So then,
right?
yeah. So that's
There's a
so
chance.
to me that what that means is that it wasn't actually that there was a God like intervening. It's that you were desperate and has a vision that. Like a mental breakdown. You're desperate and had a mental breakdown, and the imagery you saw was related to the culture that you're ingrained in. And then maybe you got lucky
Maybe
because I'm
I
sure
don't
that
know,
people
but
see
I can't even
visions.
imagine Buddha doing that.
I'm sure
so.
a lot of people have the same exact vision of Jesus saving their loved one that loved one actually dies, and I'm sure that's very sad.
And to be
for
fair,
them.
that's a very Jesus thing to do. Less so, I don't know, these other like Buddha and then whatever pagan Indian.
Yeah, the
So-
reason I really like Christianity is that Christianity, unlike a lot of the Eastern religions, or unlike I'm not sure if Judaism is like this, but definitely unlike
I love the Talmud.
unlike Islam, just in a different way, but very unlike the Eastern religions, is that religion is like the Eastern religions are way more stoic and you're like self-contained, but Christianity is like you love and it's very emotionally turbulent and you let go and it's more vulnerable, and that's what I like about Christianity.
Yeah, no, I agree. I completely agree with everything you said. And I appreciate the fact that you're willing to recognize the good of Christian philosophy. I think Christianity is a set by example religion, martyrdom is the ultimate setting by example.
That's Max. If you like
yes.
that, then that's he's killed himself like so many times for so many stupid things.
Who? Oh,
Mr. Girl.
Mr. Girl. He's died on so many. He's died.
Compare Mr. Girl
to Jesus. Yeah, he's died on so many hills. He's died on so many hills.
Listen, Smeth, me and Wintrius are about to read the Destiny report by Mr. Girl.
It sucks.
Well, we're gonna read the summary.
The beginning is, I mean, I just think that the lab section, well, like some of it was important to put in. It's just so fucking long. Okay, the summary might be better. Yeah,
we're gonna read the summary.
Okay, well, have a good one. Have good luck.
All right.
Yeah, have a good one.
Bless.
The summary is good. Great, nice meeting you.
God bless Smeth.
Yeah, you're gonna die, motherfucker. See you later. Means meeting you.
So are you. I hope you the best.
All right, bye.
Thanks for the talk.
All right. Amen. Thank you for joining me. Like and subscribe. Thank you very much for the super chats. Yeah, I'm going to be talking to someone named Drew tomorrow. And he wants to talk about the exiting of DGG and other things. Maybe also about some ballet and sexuality. Thank you very much for stopping by. All right. We'll send you off with this. No, not that. Not that. Do that.